Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Uncut and After Show. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button if you'd like to become a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member and keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere, and there's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. Also, below this video, you can get £50 for swapping your UK electricity supplier to Octopus Energy. Speaking of Patrons, I'm going to do a quick shout out to all of you who do support me on Patreon, including a new Patreon, which hopefully I won't mess your name up. It is Moxie Tycoon. Hopefully I'll not butcher that in future. If I get it wrong, just let me know. But thank you very much indeed for joining us on Patreon, Moxie Tycoon. Really good to have you. Also, Michael Kahn, Patrick Gunnels, Banter, Will Brax, Mel B. Styles, Troy Shuker, Bose Nail, Samson, Maris, Mobile Max 777, Neo the One, Lost Cat FE, Rob W, Open Minded, Reese Pound, Del West Watson, Mike, Muted, Dick Earth Skeptic, Maria Neelands, Unbelievable Productions, Blue Ridge Ranger, Rob H, The Real Gabster, Windrider, Liam Nedrick Jr., Abraham Mohammed, Naibai, Adrian Quintana, Skeptic936, Life is Short, Fireball X, theflatearthchannel.com, Texas Mike, Edwin Johnson, and David Wayne Foster. So another massive thank you to all of you for supporting me on Patreon. Now I will hand over to whoever is in Google and Discord so you can enjoy their conversation while I set up for today's live show.
Into like a rainbow, and each element has a specific absorption wavelength of the light. Yes, each element on periodic table.
All right, well, let's.
Because hydrogen and helium are different, two different elements.
All right, let's roll with this. But you have to know what the composition of the medium is between you and the light too. You know that, right?
The medium, the light is not affected by the medium. And I have looked at different sources of light, and I haven't. And if the light was affected by the medium, I could have. The light
isn't affected by the medium. Is that what you said?
The spectrum of light is not affected by the medium.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
Why am I an idiot?
Because you're wrong and you haven't thought about it.
Calm down. We're taking this step by step.
I've seen it myself with my own spectroscope. No, I can prove it to you. I've taken multiple pictures of different sources of light, and each different source of light created a different spectrum that I could see with my own eyes using a pocket spectroscope. For example, a computer screen.
Spectroscope.
Yes, pocket spectroscope. There, you can buy it at Amazon. Literally, a pocket spectroscope that can be used to see different lights from different sources, and it's a different wavelength, or like different wavelengths of light. You can see them.
So you're saying no medium changes the wavelength? Wavelength of lights. Is that what you're saying?
No.
So when light goes through like water, it doesn't change the wavelength of the light.
It's still gonna be the same wavelength of light. Yes.
Wrong. It changes. That's Snell's law. You're a moron.
Sorry, what?
Calm down, Sin Cleanser.
There's people that just lie for no reason.
No, hold on. You saying that the light is affected by the medium?
Duh, no shit. That's what Snell's law is.
Snell's law?
Do you know what Snell's law is?
Hold on. Let's ask Google.
What it is, which is why I know you don't know what you're talking about.
But
so lying to people on the internet. You don't even know what you're talking about.
You mean Snow rule, which is
no,
is actually
say that.
The what? Hold on. I wanna.
Snell's law.
Yeah.
How do you
Well,
how do you spell it? I'm sorry.
SNELL apostrophe S law.
SSEN.
SN.
Oh, Snell's law.
Yeah, look what it says in the very first verse. Is a formula used to describe the relation between angles of incidence and refraction when referring to light or other waves passing through boundary between the two different isotropic media, such as water, glass, or air.
James, do you know what isotropic means? Because if you don't know what isotropic means, it means that we're not going to talk. Because I know you
Isotropic
don't.
media are
Yo-yo.
media that affect, I guess, the direction of light from the original source.
Yeah. So what's that? The difference between isotropic and anisotropic. Because I don't think you're going to be able to, talk about these things.
What are you, a school
It's
teacher?
the Snell's law is talks about how the rays of light, or like the path of light, is affected by the media, but the wavelength of light is dependent on the chemical is a chemical property of the like light source. It's not a physical property. Snell's law describes the physical property of the isotropic media such as water, glass, and air. Wavelength of light is produced from the chemical
So do
composition
you think
of the
we see?
source.
Do you think we see the actual sun, or do we
Yes.
see the apparent sun? Snell's
Yeah.
law would say we see the apparent sun. Why don't you understand that? Just like we don't ever see the actual horizon, it's apparent. All because of Snell's law.
Excuse me. I see what you mean here.
Like, honestly, Snell's law is, a super essential part of this debate. Unless you know what it means, it's going to be hard to talk about, refraction and horizons.
But the air is not as dense as water. So the air property on or air sorry, I'm trying to air effect on light is not as strong as water's effect on light according to the Snell's law. Because water's density is higher than air, it does affect or refract the light a lot stronger than um, gas molecules.
I
Because
think
there
even
is
in your
more.
model,
No,
listen,
there is. Sorry,
even
go
in your
ahead.
model, you don't ever see the actual sun. Because in your model, the deflection of light would be the critical angle from which the sun enters the new medium, or the light at least. So you'd only ever see the apparent sun from a critical angle of incidence of the medium differential, which would be Snell's law, right? So there's no possible way you'd ever be seeing the actual sun. You would be seeing a critical angle of light, but you'd only be seeing it at the medium change.
Sun that we see in the sky is the actual sun. It's not an
It's the
apparent
apparent
image.
sun. It is the
No, it's
apparent sun. That's what
the
Snell's law says, dude.
no. The Snell's law says that the density also affects the density of the medium also
Yeah,
affects the light rays, but the density of
you see
water
the
and the
sun
density of
through the
air are
atmosphere.
so huge between each other that the density that the air or the atmosphere does not affect has almost has the most minimal effect on the sun than water,
Atmosphere.
because
What's
we still
atmosphere?
can see the sun even when it's like at the sunset.
I don't think you know what you're talking about. honestly. But that's fine, right?
The Snell's law mainly applies, for example, whenever you shine your light in the water, or like the best example of
It's a
Snell's law
medium change,
is
dude.
is
Whenever you have a
shown.
medium change, light, the changing of the media is the deflection. So if you ever have Snell's law, you have the deflection of light. Therefore, it's not the actual light, it's the deflection of light at an instance, at an angle. So get fucked.
Right? That was a good shot.
Hmm. I didn't know that the famous Nathan Oakley would join our chat though.
Right, he's starting a show right now. Well, he already started. When he pops in, he starts the show.
Hmm.
Actually, I'm not. The show will go out late today because my wife's at the dentist. So
Oh.
Okay,
the
but
kids will be running around, and I wouldn't want people to accuse me of beating them. So I'll delay the start of the show till she gets back.
okay.
In other words, I'm just going to remain on mute for the majority of the time until I can actually do the show, if that makes sense. So I'm kind of not here.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
Hmm.
Hello, Neil. I closed your line because they were in the middle of a conversation.
Okay. Another thing that I wanted to, I guess, talk to you guys is about like I guess the spin, not only Earth but also us around the sun and us around the Milky Way. Because I know a lot of people, like I said, a lot of flat earthers react to it, or they think they they make it look unbelievable that our Earth travels at 1,000 miles an hour, right? Yet it's just funny that it takes 24 hours for us to take one revolution around the axis. Also, uh, what's the speed of the Earth around the sun? They say. Hold on.
Something you have no way of verifying.
And where's that geometric
And ho-
horizon of yours?
Sorry, what?
You're just repeating things you have no way of verifying.
They have verified the speed, both the
You don't.
rotation of the Earth and the rotation
You
of the Earth around the sun.
You don't. You're just saying things to us.
Do your research. They even tell you how they did it.
You've never done it. You don't know how they did it. You're telling
what?
us what you believe they did.
Done what? Tell us what they've done.
Hold on.
Yeah, you don't even know what they did, dude.
Don't get shy now. Tell us what
Just
they've done.
let there be dead air. The guy said they've done it. Just let him tell us what they've done.
I didn't say I've done it myself.
It's okay. Just tell us what they have done. What's going on? Why is there a stony silence?
Hold on. Hold on. What they did first was to calculate the distance from the Earth to the Sun, which is around 100, which is 150 million miles, or 150 million kilometers between the Earth and the Sun. Then
Okay,
they calculated
how did they
the
do that?
time.
Okay, one thing at a time. We want to understand what you're telling us. So, okay, how did they do that?
First they calculated the speed of light. Then they counted how long did it took for something on the sun to be seen on the Earth, and they measured it to be 8 minutes. That
How
was
did
the
they do that?
difference.
How did they do that?
They had the spacecraft sent to the sun, and because it was orbiting the sun very closely, whatever they've seen on the spacecraft, they saw that with their own eyes 8 minutes later.
Let me get this straight. You're saying they sent a spaceship to the sun and timed
Yes,
what from the spaceship?
and timed for example, a flare. They watched the flare on the spaceship, and they also watched the flare from the Earth, and they noticed that the flare that was recorded on the spaceship came 8 minutes earlier than what they've seen with their own telescopes.
I see. There's an inherent problem though with that claim. Do you know what it is?
What's the problem?
Well, your spaceship isn't.
No, the space.
You
Hold
don't
on,
have
the
to
space observatory.
immediately interrupt me.
I'm
Pop
sorry.
yourself on mute. Pop yourself on mute. I'm not going to do this 6 times. I'm waiting for you to go on mute, so I don't have to tell you 6 times not to immediately talk through me. Yeah, I'm waiting for your little mute light to come on, so I know you're not going to talk through me as I take apart your little claim that I listened to.
I apologize.
Thank you. Excellent. I do appreciate that, actually. So you said spaceships in space. No, space violates the second law of thermodynamics. We are breathing gas. That is at pressure. That means it's pressing on something. If the sky was a vacuum, then the gas would fill that space. So their assertion that they've got this observation from a spaceship is bunk. Because if they'd travelled through the gas pressure we breathe in a spaceship and then entered a vacuum to travel to the sun, which is what the heliocentric model claims the sky is, then we wouldn't have any gas to breathe. Just for your information, when putting this to very well-educated fundamentalist religious globe-believing zealots, the response I've had from them is, quote, "The second law of thermodynamics does not apply to the Earth," end quote. Now, the Earth in that context is the heliocentric model of an Earth in a sky vacuum. So natural law doesn't apply to your model, and according to your description, a spaceship is flying in your model, violation of natural law sky vacuum, to get this information. Therefore, immediately bunk. There are no spaceships doing anything in a sky vacuum. Nonsense. So no, that doesn't give you the distance to the sun or the speed of light. So we've got nowhere. That's your first bit of your first claim, and no, all bunk.
First of all, the law of thermodynamics applies to a physical property of the. Hold on, I'm trying to read into it. Because the reason why we have a gas pressure on Earth is not because it's a closed container, as Bible describes. We have gravity that pulls the air toward the Earth. That's why as you go higher, the Earth, the pressure drops because we're getting farther and farther away from the Earth. And yes, there's a vacuum in space, but the vacuum is not sucking the air out of it. The air is being held together by the Earth's gravity to the Earth. It pulls all the air. That's why the less dense gases rise and more dense gases fall or sink.
Which more dense gases are being created in the sky and falling down like bouncy balls? Which gases would those be, please?
Oxygen and nitrogen.
Sorry, oxygen is produced.
Well as...
Sorry, you believe that oxygen is produced in the sky?
Oxygen is not produced in the sky. It's
so
produced
stop.
through photosynthesis.
Stop. What part of which gases are created in the sky to fall down, go boom, boom like bouncy balls with gravity? Which ones? You say oxygen. I say oxygen's made in the sky. You say no. Now, before you respond, that is insanely irritating. So I'll repeat my question. Then, if I get a similar answer, I'll get annoyed again. More annoyed this time. So, I'll repeat my question. Which gases, pray tell, are being produced in the sky?
None.
So when you say gases are going down, the heavier gases go down, none of them are doing that then. Wrong, you're just talking nonsense. No gases are produced in the sky and falling down go boom boom. Quite the contrary. They're produced on the ground and going up now, aren't they? And regardless of your assertion that entropy somehow has gravity defying it, I challenge you to show me in that little Google search you did about second law of thermodynamics where it states that gravity overcomes this law of nature. Before you even attempt it, it doesn't. You can have gravity at full effect, Einsteinian or Newtonian, and it won't overcome the effects of entropy. So you are incorrect. No. Gas law dictates that whatever gas you're describing, it will fill the availability of volume it has to fill. And the sky vacuum, where you've claimed these measurements of the distance of the light comparable to the light measured from a flare on Earth are taken from, is a fake place. Because natural law dictates that that area would be a volume for gas to fill, and therefore it would have filled it. We'd all be dead if this claimed place to take measurements from was real. That would be space. It isn't. Further to your rebuttal, just to re-clarify, gas does not go down, go boom boom like bouncy balls. It's produced at ground level, and then an entropic, that's the second law of thermodynamics, effect takes place. An entropy increase, taking the gas from ground level into the volume. That would be going up towards the top of places like Everest, where there's very little vegetation producing gas. But the gas still makes its way up there by way of an entropic effect. Dispersion. It disperses into the space. And it would do so continually to the point where we'd all suffocate if the sky was a space for gas to fill. It's natural law. Gravity does not in any way overcome entropy. Do you understand?
Yes. I found a very cool article. Let me read it for you.
So, sorry, you
When
understand
things-
that gas
sorry.
doesn't go down, go boom boom, and your place where you said they took measurements from is therefore fake. We'd all be dead. Let's not talk about what you've researched suddenly as a segue. So space is fake. If the sky was a vacuum, the gas we breathe would fill the space. Let's dwell on that for a few moments before your new question comes up, given I've taken the time to explain to you, an idiot, that gas does not go down, go boom boom like bouncy balls. It expands to fill the space. So first, do you understand, having been educated by a flat earther, that gas does not go down, go boom boom like bouncy balls? Do you understand that first?
Yes.
Oh, why did you say it then?
I said that the gas...
Goes down, go boom boom like bouncy balls. I know what you said. Now I'm asking, why would you say such a stupid thing to me? It doesn't. It fills space. That's entropy. Why would you say something so stupid?
Particles under gravity are not affected by entropy.
Sorry. Entropy is not affected by the not actual force of gravity. Now, even if I allowed you to beg the question that mass attracts mass by way of 106-year out-of-date Newtonian gravity, that would be the mass of steam going towards the mass of Earth. Wouldn't it now? Does steam, a mass, move to the centre of Earth, another mass? No, it doesn't. So, third time's a charm. You've told us, no, gravity holds gas here because it goes down, go boom boom, like bouncy balls. No, you are wrong. Your sky vacuum isn't a place to take measurements from, and if it was a vacuum, we'd all be dead. Do you understand?
The entropy means that the vacuum is being replaced by the gases. The reason why steam does not sink to the Earth.
So your argument is that it does sink to the Earth. So why are you now telling me about how it doesn't, when the very essence of your argument is that it does go down, go boom, boom? You're now going to justify why it doesn't do the very thing you're claiming without any acknowledgement that, no, your argument is that gravity makes gas go down, go boom, boom. I ask, does steam attract to the mass of Earth, go down, go boom, boom? And you're now going to launch into telling me how it does not do the very thing you've claimed. Still yet to acknowledge your stupid, idiot claim that gas goes down when it doesn't, it fills space. And space would be a space for gas to fill. Fourth time I've tried to get you to acknowledge this, you bloody zealot.
If the steam was affected by gravity, then why are...
No, it's not affected by gravity. Are you dumb? Steam not going down, go boom, boom to the mass of the centre of Earth, you stupid idiot. That is precisely the opposite of what it does. Please stop asserting that gas goes down, go boom, boom, like a chanting zealot. I don't need you to chant your claim at me. I need you to acknowledge how I've crapped all over it. Not gravity go down, go boom, boom, clown. Are you deaf?
Can I speak, please?
You can acknowledge that you've stated gas goes down, go boom, boom. I ask you for example, you say oxygen, and then you justify why it isn't going down, go boom, boom. Then I ask you about steam. Steam going mass attract mass to the centre of the mass of Earth. It's got mass. No, and then you launch into why it's not doing the very thing you've claimed. And 5 times I've tried to get you to acknowledge that gas isn't going down, go boom, boom with gravity. To have your rebuttal work that gas isn't filling the space in line with entropic law. 6 times, Fundy. How many times? Is it going to be 20? Your sky vacuum's fake, mate. It's a violation of the second law of thermodynamics. I need you to acknowledge that, given you've said gas goes down, go boom, boom, in line with a clown called Thunderf00t who also said the same thing and demonstrated it with physical gas as bouncy balls. Now that stupid shit that you and he have said has been ripped to pieces here. We just need an acknowledgement, not 6 repetitions, now 7, that gas isn't moving to the centre of Earth, you stupid clown. It comes out of the ground and then goes up.
I never said that the gas is like a bouncy balls.
You said it went down.
It sinks.
So that's like a fucking bouncy ball then? What goes up then comes down, sinks, like a bouncy ball? That's 8 times, you stupid Fundy chanting dick.
Not like a bouncy ball.
What? So it goes down? What, is it more like gas that expands into a volume then? If it's not going down like a bouncy ball, does it go up and expand to fill the space then? Like my point you're ignoring 9 times? Not like a bouncy ball then. So what, more like gas? Well, gas expands to fill a volume. 10 times?
But it's also pulled to the center of the Earth by gravity.
I see. So steam pools in puddles, does it?
I'm sorry, can you please repeat that?
So steam forms puddles. Or does it form clouds? Wait, am I stupid, right? Gas go down, go boom, boom. Steam falls down and forms puddles, right?
Steam is being replaced.
Yeah, you want to say no before I absolutely lose my shit with you, you stupid idiot. Steam is not going down, go boom, boom. That's the 4th time I've explained that to you. So, yeah, I understand your claim that gas goes down, go boom, boom like bouncy balls. Then I say, like bouncy balls. You say, no, not like bouncy balls. Sinking. Yeah, go down, go boom, boom. So steam sinks into a puddle, does it? No, clown. You're just thick. You think gravity overcomes the violation of natural law that is your sky vacuum. It does not. Mass does not attract mass. The mass of the steam isn't moving to the centre of Earth. That's 11 times. Maybe chant at me again that gravity makes it go down, go boom, boom, so I can humiliate you for a 12th time.
I never said that the gas was going down, boom, boom, like a bouncy ball.
You said gas goes down. That's why I asked you which gas was produced in the sky to go down, and now you're lying about your claim that I've overcome. Yeah, you definitely said it goes down. I added the go boom boom like bouncy balls because a PhD clown called Thunderf00t demonstrated what you are claiming with bouncy balls so that he could show them going down, go boom boom. like a solid, bonded, bouncy ball that doesn't behave like gas. Unbonded gas expands to fill volume. It's the 13th time. I'm
That
done.
demonstration only
I'm done with
showed
you.
you what
You're
happens to
retarded.
a cold
You're
air with the
mentally
steam.
retarded. No longer want to deal with you because 13 attempts is enough. Yeah? Gas doesn't go down, go boom, boom. Gravity isn't holding gas here. We don't get puddles of steam. Yeah? It expands to fill the space. Entropic effect. Expansion. Dispersion. That's what gas does, disperse. It fills the volume. You can calculate it. PV equals nRT. You can look at the second law of thermodynamics or Boyle's law. They all require a volume. That's what the gas will fill. Doesn't go down, go boom, boom. Entropy is in no way affected by gravity. 14 renditions with summaries, with you telling me no and chanting that gravity makes it go down, and me pointing out over and over again that we don't get puddles of steam because the steam mass is attracted to the centre of Earth mass. It's never going to happen. 15 attempts later, I am done with you. Knock yourself out, lads. He's an idiot.
All I said was that the steam's density is less than the surrounding air. That's why it rises. Steam is being pushed up by the cold air.
I see. Which gas around it? Which gas around it started up high and went down? I.e., the very first question I asked you. So which gas is being poured down to force the steam up? Is it oxygen?
The gases are already there.
Is it going to be chanting through me before I clarify that I've already asked this? You circle-jerking, pathetic fundy. Yeah, we already covered this, didn't we? So which gas is produced in the sky and poured downwards to force the steam up? Which gas is being pulled down to the centre of Earth from the sky? Is it none of them, like we already went over? You circle-jerking, pathetic idiot. You want to chant that shit a third time? We've already covered it, Fundy. Do you not remember me asking you which gas was produced in the sky? Did you forget that? Mental block, because a flat earther pointed out how your argument was wrong. Yeah, mental block. Chant it a fourth time, maybe.
Read about convectional currents, then we'll talk. Research what are the conventional currents, because that will explain how does the steam rise and other gases are not.
Which aren't? There's some up high being poured down. Which are they?
None of the gases are poured down.
Oh, so when you say that the gases are going down, go boom, boom with gravity pulling them to the centre of Earth to force the steam up, none of them are doing that, like we already covered about 5 or 10 minutes ago. Yeah, I know I covered it already, didn't I now, circle-jerking fundy idiot? I know I already covered that. Were you not paying attention? So none of them then. Yeah, we know none of them are doing that. So when you say the other gases are going down, go boom, boom to force the steam up, yeah, none of them are doing that, idiot. Hello?
Research convectional currents.
And will that show me that gas goes down, go boom, boom to make the steam go up?
Yes.
Which
I guarantee
gas
you
is doing
it will.
that? Which gas is doing that?
Cold air.
Which gas
versus
is
steam.
produced up high and going down, go boom, boom? You've already told us none of them, but convection currents say that one of them is. So which one does convection current say is going down, go boom, boom?
It's a mixture of gases.
Yeah, I know what an anisotropic mixture of gases are. I know what we're breathing. Yeah, that's fascinating and also non sequitur. Which one's going down to force the steam up?
Nitrogen and oxygen. What do you expect?
So, sorry, nitrogen and oxygen are produced up in the sky?
No, they're not.
Oh, so they're not going down, go boom, boom, having been produced in the sky. They're actually produced at ground level and then dispersed upwards.
Yes.
Oh, so they're not forcing the steam down. They're also being produced at ground level and going up with an entropic effect to get them there. So going up. So when you say these gases go down, go boom, boom, because they're attracted to Earth because they've got mass, they actually don't do that at all. They come out and fuck off away from Earth. Completely pissing in the face of this assertion that gas is attracted to the centre of Earth. Because they'd pool, wouldn't they? And they're not. You're just a stupid retard that needs 16 renditions of the same point. for you to actually understand it. I don't know if the 17th attempt will get him to understand it, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. There's very limited chance this guy will ever understand it, because he's got a belief in a sky vacuum with measurements of sun values, right, Fundy? So 18, 17, how many attempts, my friend? Gas isn't going down, go boom boom to force the steam up. Nitrogen and oxygen are not produced in the sky, going down, they're produced at ground level and going up, with an entropic effect that would mean that the gas would fill the vacuum and would all be dead. So there's definitely no images, no measurements, no light speed being measured from a place that doesn't exist. That's a sky vacuum, a space for gas to fill, therefore not real.
Apparently, your science interpretation is wrong.
Oh, that's an ad hominem fallacy, ladies and gentlemen. Attack the man and my understanding and my education of science. All right. I haven't actually claimed any science, so therefore this fundamental idiot has demonstrated his lack of acumen when it comes to science, as I haven't claimed any.
The reason why is because...
Sorry, I haven't claimed any science, you stupid moron. Would you like to tell the audience what specifically, pray tell, I claimed as science, for you to tell me that I don't understand it?
Yes, you don't understand it because...
No, don't just repeat your ad hominem fallacy that I don't understand science. I'm asking you specifically where I claim science for you to now launch into an ad hominem fallacy about how I don't understand it. I'm pointing out I haven't claimed science, and you're yet to respond by telling me, no, Nathan claimed science here and giving me a quote where I claim science. I haven't. You're just using an ad hominem fallacy. Meanwhile, the sky is not a vacuum to take measurements of light speed or the distance to the sun. If the sky was a vacuum, entropic law would dictate that the gas we breathe would fill that available space. And the lie of a sky vacuum is called space.
The gravity does not allow the gas to expand into space.
Sorry, the gravity isn't pulling gas down, go boom boom. That's 18 times. You're a chanting fundamentalist zealot. You just keep chanting gravity at me. I've already taken it apart. Gravity asserts that mass will attract mass, yet every single gas that you say is attracted to the centre of Earth started life at ground level and made its way up with an entropic effect. So no, none of them are doing that, and you keep clarifying how none of them are doing that, but you just want to chant your fundy belief at me in gravity. Yeah, you're just like a chanting monk. Chant
What
gravity
I'm saying,
again. Chant it. Chant gravity. Go on.
What I'm saying is that
Gravity, gravity, gravity,
Gra-
gravity, gravity,
that-
gravity,
no.
gravity, 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 gravity.
here,
Gravity, gravity,
Nathan,
gravity, gravity, gravity.
hold
Chant it
on,
for us.
hold on.
Gravity, 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 gravity.
No,
Chant.
without
for
the
us.
gravity, you're
Chant for
right.
us.
All the gases would have been gone and would have suffocated.
That's correct. If the sky was a vacuum, all the gases would have gone. We would have all suffocated.
Yes, but the gravity holds the gas
So gravity, 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 gravity. Yeah. As you correctly state, if the sky was a vacuum, all of the gases would disperse into it. We'd all be dead. We'd suffocate. That's correct. Not gravity, 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 gravity. The gases aren't going down attracted to the centre of the mass of Earth. Quite the contrary, they do the opposite of that.
Look at the Mars. Mars's
A
gravity.
light in the sky. Non sequitur fallacy.
Look at the moon.
Another light in the sky. Non sequitur fallacy.
Why do you think that the moon is a light in the sky?
Because it is absolutely unequivocally a light in the sky.
No, it's not.
Now tell me that my hand isn't real.
What is it?
Tell me my hand isn't real too.
Your hand is real.
And the moon isn't a light in the sky.
No, it's not.
You ever heard
Because
the term?
we sent
Just out of interest,
aircraft
you
to the
ever heard the
moon.
term?
We've landed on the moon.
Have you ever heard the term moonlight? That term ring a bell?
Moonlight is not a real thing.
This gets better and better.
This is
Moon does not
classic.
produce its own light. It's a reflection from the sun.
Sorry, number one, Did I say it produced its own light, or did I just say it's a light? I just said there's a light in the sky, it's the moon, it's non sequitur to your sky vacuum, second law of thermodynamics violation.
It's not a light.
And now you're going to chant through me like a bitch, aren't you? Yeah, yeah. Completely pummeled. It's time to mute me, isn't it?
No, I'm not going to...
Yeah, don't do it then, please, if you don't mind. Yeah, we've been really respectful for each other, other than you being really stupid up until now and needing, I think it was 17 attempts of me pointing out the gas isn't going down boom with gravity. Yeah, yeah. You understand that? Yeah, don't talk through me. Just because this is devastating for your fundamentalist religious belief in a sky vacuum and your non sequitur fallacy about the moon, a light in the sky, that you've now used a straw man fallacy about whether or not it's producing its own light, something I did not claim. You need to burn a straw man. It's definitely a light in the sky. That is, without doubt, one of the single things that we can all agree on here. Moon, yeah, light.
Not.
Where? In sky. Yeah, we can all agree on that. Except you. You dumb
Moon
shit.
is...
Who's now going to chant through me as I humiliate you for how fucking stupid it is to say no to someone's declaration that the moon and its moonlight isn't a light in the sky. No, absolutely not. Why? Well, because I'm about to lay a straw man on you, mofo. You're going to tell me that it's not producing its own light and then slip in your own stupid claim that the moon is reflecting light. Do you know what a specular reflection is?
Specular reflection? Hold on.
With an upward inflection? Specular reflection with an upward inflection? Do you know? I would suspect not. Maybe ask me with a high-pitched voice.
Is the type of...
Specular reflection? Yeah, maybe fuck off and Google search it.
Service?
Yeah, maybe go and Google search it. Yeah, before asking me a load of questions and chanting through me.
No.
You don't, yeah. Go away and Google search what specular reflection is.
I did.
And what is it?
Is a type of surface reflectance often described as a mirror-like reflection of light from the surface.
And is the mirror, like moon, in your heliocentric model, mirror-like?
It doesn't have to be a mirror-like. Any object can reflect light.
Oh,
Your face can reflect flashlight light by shining light.
Can reflect light. Yes. What about specular reflections, though? What's required for those?
Incident light is reflected into a single outgoing direction.
And what's required? You've already said it once. You seem to be skirting it.
No, the specular reflection is a man-made. Is only made.
That's non sequitur. Who gives a shit? Meanwhile, this is a strawman fallacy. I couldn't give a crap about what produces light in terms of the moon. It's a light in the sky and I don't care. It's non sequitur. It's not in a sky vacuum, that's for damn sure. Yeah, and you claim that we've got a distance to the sun by way of a spaceship. No, that's Narnia. That's the second law of thermodynamics violation. Gas would fill the space. All you seem to have in response to that was to chant through me. Gravity. That's all you had.
The law of the second law of thermodynamics is cancelled by gravity because gravity does not allow a gas expansion to infinity if it were in an empty space. It does
gravity
not.
Doesn't allow. It's not a force. It doesn't do anything. What do you mean it doesn't allow? It's not sentient. It's not giving things permission. It doesn't allow. It's not a force. What are you talking about? Define gravity.
Gravity is a force.
Define
it. Pulls
it.
You down.
No, gravity is
Earth.
not a force. End quote, George Musa.
Yes.
Sorry, listen to me. Gravity is not a force. End quote, George Musa, Scientific American. Gravity. This is another quote from Professor Brian Cox. There isn't really a force of gravity at all. End quote, Professor Brian Cox, astrophysicist. I'll say it again. You can chant all you like. No, it's not dictating anything to anything. It's not setting parameters or conditions. It's not a force. Now, you've just stated quite clearly that it is, and you're wrong. So please,
Okay.
if you would,
Gravity
rather than
gases
chanting straight
to
through
its
me.
center.
Yeah, rather than chanting through me, I know it's devastating. Could you define gravity for us, please?
Okay. Let me give you an answer.
Let me buy a few seconds while I type into Google gravity and maybe look it up because I don't know. What's gravity? Define it. Go. Now.
Gravity is a force that...
Wrong. I've just given you two quotes. Astrophysicist Brian Cox. There isn't really a force of gravity at all. End quote. I'll give you a different quote from George Musa. Literally, it's not a force. End quote. George Musa. Are you deaf? Hello? What part of those astrophysicist words don't you understand?
Gravity is a force of attraction.
No, it's not. I've just given you 2 quotes. 3, in fact, from astrophysicists. It's not a force. I'll quote George Musa again. Literally, it's not a force. George Musa. Spoken to Craig, Fight the Flat Earth. For a live audience. No, it wasn't. It was pre-recorded. For an audience. Heavily edited by Craig, actually. Meanwhile, literally, it's not a force. George Musa. Tell me again, chant it for the 4th time, that gravity's a force by definition. You're wrong. Gravity is the bending of a conceptual medium known as space-time, by way of the uneven distribution of mass in pseudo-Riemannian force space. Now, you don't know that, you're thick. You don't know what gravity is, you're a moron. You're 106 years out of date asserting it's a force. It's not. You're wrong. Hello? You don't know what gravity is, clown?
Okay, I know the very basic definition of gravity. I don't know the more conceptual definition of gravity, like you said.
That was Einstein's gravity. Conceptual? Yeah, you're right about that, my friend. It's pseudo-Riemannian force space. Pseudo. Do you know what pseudo means? Because that's the geometry of Einstein's gravity. Conceptual, yeah. In other words, only exists as a concept. That would be Einstein's gravity. The current gravity. Bending of space-time. Sound familiar? Space-time, 4th dimensional space-time. That's conceptual. Not going to force anything to do anything. Not forcing things. It's conceptual. Not a force.
The gravity has been proven. Okay, you're right. According to the Einstein, yes, it's a bend of space-time, but also that space-time that space-time makes one object attract to another.
Oh, right. I see. So the bending of space-time, I see. I heard your claim. You're wrong.
Sorry.
You're wrong. So objects with mass, perchance, are going to be attracted to each other because of bending space-time. So steam's got mass. Earth's got mass. Do those 2 things attract to each other because of the bending of a pseudo-Riemannian conceptual geometry? No, they don't.
You forgot one
Sorry, they don't do that. That's wrong. You've said that space-time, now according to Einstein geometry, Earth as a sphere is bending quite a lot of space-time. And according to you and your nonsense shit that you just made up, that would cause mass attracting mass. So steam has mass, Earth has mass in the heliocentric pseudo-world of force space. So therefore, puddles of steam, right? No, wrong. You are incorrect again.
Hold on. I have a question for you.
You can suck my balls. So no, bending pseudo-conceptual force space doesn't make mass attract mass. Not question time, concession time. Wrong again, Fundy with a globe belief. You don't know what gravity is.
Yes, I do.
Really? You told me it was mass attracting mass. I proved that wrong with steam. And now you think you understand pseudo-Riemannian force space and bending conceptual mediums of space-time, causing mass to attract mass. I ask you again, steam attracts the mass of Earth, then? Answer, no. But you understand gravity? What's the cause of bending space-time in Einsteinian pseudo-force space? What's the cause of that, according to Einstein?
The cause of gravity is the density of the objects, or the density of the molecules in the objects.
That's incorrect. You don't know what gravity. You just told me you knew what gravity was. I asked you what the cause of bending space-time was in pseudo-force space. You said you knew what gravity was. You're a liar. You don't know what the cause of bending force space is. That's not correct. What kind of an idiot comes to a flat Earth forum to tell me that he understands what gravity is, only for me to listen to that kind of crap? You've got no idea what you're talking about. Do you want me to tell you the cause?
Because you don't understand it doesn't mean it's not true.
Sorry, just because you don't understand it, that doesn't make it true? So an argument from incredulity fallacy?
Just research how the
Just tell me what I'm going to do, because you're going to be telling me, aren't you, you arrogant prick? Immediately, when proven how stupid you are with the logical fallacy you've just employed, you're going to launch into telling me what's what.
No, they proved the Einstein's gravity of bending space-time.
And what's the cause?
The cause is the mass of the object.
You already said that,
The
and I've
more
already
mass of
told
the-
you, you stupid clown, that you're wrong. You're going to chant that wrong answer at me 16 times. There's several people on this panel right now that know the cause of bending pseudo-force space. You're not one of them.
Not a pseudo.
Sorry, do you need to chant through this? I've asked you for the cause. You've
Oh.
said they've proven gravity, Einsteinian gravity. That would be to ascertain the cause. You've told me the incorrect cause twice. Now, there's other people here who do know the cause, claimed cause, in bending pseudo-force space, asserted by Einstein. There is a causal relationship asserted. You just don't know what it is, but you're telling me that they've proven it. Ascertained cause, and you don't even know what that is. It's absurd. You're thick.
The cause for gravity is the mass of the object.
Sorry, you're going to say that for a fourth time, fifth time, sixth time? That is not the cause of bending pseudo-force space. You are wrong.
It has, and the more space.
Sorry, do you just want to chant through me telling you you're wrong, you stupid dick? You're wrong. Third time. You don't know what gravity is. You're an idiot. Tell me a fourth
Yes, I
time that it's
do.
the mass. Chant through me telling you how wrong you are again. Start talking while I'm ripping you apart based on your total lack of understanding of Einsteinian bendy force space. Now, there's loads of people here who do know what that is. And they're all sitting here thinking, is he just going to keep saying that it's the mass of the object that causes it? Because you're wrong. That's not the cause in bending space-time. Tell me again for a fourth time that it's the mass of the object, you stupid idiot. Who doesn't know what he's talking about after declarations that you know what gravity is. You don't. However, me, the
Can you
flat
tell
earther,
me
I
what
know
it is?
precisely what gravity is. Yeah? I do know what it is. You don't.
Tell me.
Beg me. Say pretty please, flat earther, far more intelligent than me, globe-believing idiot, what the bending space-time is caused by. Beg me. Have some respect.
Please, dear Nathan Oakley, can you please explain me, dumb fucker, what the gravity is?
No. Fuck off and learn yourself, you stupid globe-believing retard.
I described my...
Do you understand me? You can get on your knees and beg all you like, you stupid retard. The answer is no. Now fuck off and go and learn what it is, you stupid idiot. Do you hear me?
You do that.
Did you hear what I said? Why haven't you
I'm not
left the
leaving.
server to go and learn?
I'm not leaving.
Oh, you're going to sit here and beg me some more to tell you? Go on, beg more. Beg.
I'm not gonna beg you.
You already have. You got two choices.
I can...
Continually beg with me telling you to go fuck yourself, or go fuck yourself.
I need to tell me I can do that myself, but who are you to tell me what to do?
A man who knows what gravity is.
Whatever your concept...
I know what gravity is. That's who I am.
Then tell me.
Yeah, beg. Beg, you little bitch.
I'm not gonna beg you.
You are begging. Yeah?
Google.
Yeah, you are
I don't
begging.
need-
What you're doing as a globe-believing clown is literally begging the flat earther to tell you about your own nonsense.
Sounds like you're the one that has more nonsense than I do. Because you don't understand what I'm talking about.
Oh, I disappeared after my last insult to go make myself coffee. I should have said that.
I was wondering if, like,
What do you-
my
What are you
fingers went
adding
out.
coffee to? Oh, sorry.
Where'd you find this guy? You stumble out of NASA?
Oh, you said that you got yourself coffee. What do you like in your coffee?
Can you define
Cream,
gravity,
sugar,
please?
any of that?
Can you define gravity, please?
There are two definitions of gravity. One is Newtonian, one is Einstein. I guess the two different ideas of gravity. One is Newtonian, one is Einstein's.
Well, yeah, we know that. I want you to define gravity. What does it do?
Gravity does two things. It attracts mass to mass and also bends the spacetime around the object that causes it to bend the light around it, which has been proven. Uh,
How?
which has been proven.
How?
What they did was they measured distance of stars during the solar eclipse and then did the same exact measurement when the sun was away from the exact same group of stars, and they noticed that the distance of the stars or the position of the stars was shifted more toward the sun when the sun was in the same area where they did the measurements of the stars. That's how they
That proves, excuse
proved.
me, that's so a third grader could figure that one out. That proves measurements, not gravity. No, you need to prove this
No, they
non-force
showed the
I'm
space-time, the
talking.
bending of
I'm
space-time
talking.
because the
No, what's space-time?
sorry.
You can't even show me space-time. Quit making up for stuff. Show me space-time.
No, space-time
Show it.
is a space affected at a specific time. That's what the space-time is. So
Excuse
whatever
me, show
happens
it
in
to me.
space, it happens through time.
Okay, now that you're out of Narnia, please show it to me. Measurements of lights in the sky is not proving gravity as a force. Are you this
They
dumb?
No, they didn't. They proved the Einstein's general relativity, which was the Einstein's concept of gravity bending space-time.
That doesn't prove anything. You can make up conceptual things like he did too, and then say, well, the sun moved this way and this thing moved this way. You're just measuring something. That doesn't prove a force. Now prove gravity and then show me space-time. Can you show it to me in the box? Is it real or conceptual?
It is real.
Then show it to me. We killed gravity. He told you there's no puddles of steam. There goes your mass attracting mass. It just died. You don't even get that. At the
No,
basic
the
level,
reason
we can show,
why. Sorry, go ahead.
excuse me. At the basic level, we can show you your outcome is false because there are no puddles of steam. If you can show puddles of steam, that's a good start for your fairy tale. But you can't do that. There's puddles of water, but not steam. And where's mass attracting mass? If it's so powerful, the pseudo-gravity of yours, why can't it control steam? Very light stuff should be able to pull that, especially right on the Earth's surface. Why do we not have puddles of steam if there's gravity? How come steam fights gravity? How come steam can beat up gravity?
Because steam is being replaced by the cold air. That's why it rises. Cold air sinks, hot air rises. Steam is hot, cold air is cold, and they exchange.
Air pressure, by chance? Is that what we have here? Air, when you say air, you mean air pressure, right?
Yes, air pressure caused by gravity.
Okay, good.
Steam is too light to be held by gravity. That's why it rises, because the cold air replaces it and sinks below the steam.
Okay. I want you to saw off the top of a propane tank in Alaska. And I want you to keep that propane in there. Can you show me that? Because cold air brings it down, right?
No, it doesn't. The cold air moves out of the way as the hot air rises.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. See, you need containment for air pressure. Nathan, can you go to master
No.
B and post up those 3 images I put up, please?
No,
Hey,
you don't.
Can I ask him a
The
question?
Yeah,
gravity
go ahead, John.
hold. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just wanting to know, do you have a mathematical description for gravity that you could give us?
Mathematical description.
A mathematical
The gravity was measured.
description.
Yeah, the gravity was measured at 9.8 meters per second squared. That's the force of gravity that pulls on
No,
every object.
that's an effect.
Oh, okay.
Do you have a mathematical description of the cause of this effect?
The mathematical description. No, I don't have the mathematical description.
Well, are you
'Cause,
claiming the M1, M2 over R squared gravity? Is that the one you're claiming? Or are you claiming tensor calculus?
the force.
He
I'm
hasn't got
looking
a
at
clue.
the
He doesn't
formula
know.
for the force of
You haven't got a
gravity,
clue.
which is F equals G. Sorry,
You haven't got a clue what you're claiming.
I'm sorry.
We've already established you don't know. You've just started chanting about stuff going down 9.8 meters per second. Which gas does that again? Oh, none of them. So just keep chanting, right? Which gas? 9.8 meters per second. Go.
They're all attracted to the gravity at the same at 9.8 meters per second.
Really? Which one?
Yes,
Which one?
all of them. It's
So
just that
which one starts?
the
So
hot
gases
air
are
would
up high,
go against
falling down. Gases go down at 9.8 meters per second per squared, right?
They're pulled toward the earth. They're not going down
from
like
up high.
raindrops.
So gases are up high, being produced, and then dropping out
They're
of the
not.
sky like bouncy balls, going down, go boom boom, to make the gases on the ground go up. Yeah, we've already covered this though, haven't we? There aren't any gases starting up high and going down. They're all starting down low and making their way up. We have already covered this. So when you just decide that all gases which are going up from the ground are all going down 9.8 meters per second, so they're all falling down like bouncy balls again. None of them are doing that, my friend. I tried to cover that with you 16 times. I went and get a coffee and you're back to chanting it. No acknowledgement. None of the gases are doing that. You're in a contradiction that I've pulled apart 18 times.
That's because we cannot see the molecules or even the molecules of gases and how they behave right now. Because I guarantee you, they'll be flying all around us, the air molecules.
Yeah.
Because the air molecules are always in motion, but if the motion is interrupted by something, like for example, a gas being heated up, they get more excited and they will be rising, while the cold gases will sink because because their molecules are not moving as fast.
I see. And then they're all attracted to the centre of Earth. So which precisely gas in this anisotropic mixture of gases is separated out at the bottom because it's heavy? Is there a layer of specific gas at the bottom that's heavy? Or is it an anisotropic mixture of gases?
You won't find hydrogen and helium at the bottom. That's for sure.
Oh, so completely in contravention of what you've just stated then. So again, hooray, Nathan wins. This idiot's just made a contradictory statement yet again for the 19th time. Hooray. Do you want to chant that gravity's pulling it all down at 9.8 meters per second? Maybe chant that to me. Just chant it. Go on. No, not
less
a big
dense
fan.
gas will rise.
So not down 9.8 meters per second then. Rise.
Yes, they'll be.
So that absolutely annihilates your horseshit belief that everything, including the gas, is going down 9.8 meters per second. That's wrong by your own admission now. Chant it. Chant that they still go down. Go on.
They don't go down. They just attract.
Just go up, pissing in the face of this gravity down 9.8 meters per second then. Just up. Away from the ground that they came from.
More dense gases will go down.
Oh, I see. So we're back to you circle jerking back. Which gas is at a layer? Which gas specifically is in a layer at the bottom? In this inhomogeneous mixture of gases?
You will find nitrogen.
Sorry, which gas is in a layer? A homogeneous layer will sink to the bottom, won't it? Which gas would that be?
Cold air.
Sorry, which gas is going to be forming a homogeneous layer at the bottom because it's heavy?
None of them. I mean,
none of them. Oh, back into the 20th rendition of your contradiction you don't seem to want to accept. Yeah, I know. Yeah, this is getting tedious, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Dealing with a fundamentalist religious chanting zealot. 20 renditions of the same contradiction, over and over again.
Nathan, I got 3 slides in Master V, if you would.
Why don't you try listening?
He can't, he's got a sky vacuum belief. He can't listen to me. I'm crapping on his sky vacuum belief. The last thing he needs to do is listen to me.
But that's what I'm saying. You're debunking it, and he's not listening.
No. Bless him. So it's very painful, though, right? He still needs the sky to be a vacuum and meant to have travelled to it to measure distances to the sun and the speed of light. Yeah, of course, when we point out that that area is fake and gas would fill it, he then needs gas to behave like solid bonded bouncy balls, just like Thunderf00t did. You know, they all do. They've got a not actual force bending of pseudo-Ramonian force space caused by the uneven distribution of mass that doesn't give rise to any actual force. But somehow it overcomes entropy. It's like, yeah, okay, lads. You're living in a fantasy world. The Earth's not a sphere. It's obviously observably flat. And the sky is not a vacuum. We're not in presuppositional orbits, and we don't have an R value. So there's really nothing left to do but laugh at these idiots as they chant through us 20 times. Right, got your convection currents with a kettle. First slide.
Yeah, I mean, just simple example here. You've got a stovetop, you got a kettle, you heat it up. He brought up convection currents. So let's just look and see what causes convection currents. As you can see here, just through the imagery, it's pretty reasonable to see what is the heat and the cold. Now, if you go to the next slide, it says convection currents are present in the air. A good example of convection current is the warm air that rises towards the ceiling in your house. The process happens as the warm air is said to be less dense than that of the colder air. Another good example of convection current is wind. The wind is mainly caused when the reflected radiation of the light from the sun heats up the air, thus displacing cooler air. How many times do you see the word air there? Okay, next slide. This is killer. We live in a dynamic system. We live in an enclosed system. We have the sun that heats during the day. Convection currents cause daily patterns of clouds, wind, rain, and air pressure. Where'd you get the air pressure if we're an open system? Wouldn't it just go off into space, that vacuum you talk about? What you're talking about could only happen in an enclosed system with a dynamic system within it. That's it.
Very good. Thank you very much.
as you saw the video, what are you looking at? Yes, the gases in our atmosphere are affected by the convectional currents. The problem is that instead of being a container, our atmosphere is held to the earth by gravity.
So gas go down, go
You
boom,
lost it.
boom.
Oh, gosh.
Solid bonded bouncy balls falling to the ground. Homogeneous layers of gases because they're more heavy. We've covered all of this 20 times.
You've seen the video yourself, how he described that the gas behaves just like water in a kettle. It's exact same property. Steam is hot, cold air replaces steam and steam rises, but the cold air replaces steam and sinks.
That's nice. That's a dynamic system. And where did the gas pressure come from in the first instance?
Gravity. Gravity pulls the
So gravity's not pulling gas go down, go boom, boom. It's not a force. Literally, it's not a force.
gravity attracts
Literally, it's not a force.
Earth attracts
Sorry, what's
air
the cause?
to the center of it.
My friend, I've already told you to get lost once. What's the cause? Bending pseudo force space. What's the cause? I've actually detailed it once. I dropped it in. What's the cause?
It's gonna be the same answer as you heard before.
What, the wrong answer? Given that I've given the correct answer subtly,
What?
you'd think
what,
you could
then,
repeat that.
Then what?
Sorry, my friend, you begged me to give you the answer, and I now have. I noticed you didn't thank me when I gave it you. You were too stupid to realise.
You didn't.
Too stupid to realise that you were being given the answer, and now you're going to chant through me and fundy mute me. Yeah, I know. I gave you the answer, by the way. You begged me for it, and I have given it you. Unfortunately, you were too stupid to recognise when the answer came. I did give it. But you're going to give me the wrong answer
Oh, you
again?
asked me to bet.
Yeah, shout through me, I would. While I demonstrate just how stupid you are and how little attention you're paying to what's going on, having been given the answer you begged for, I'd expect you to be able to concisely repeat it, given that you begged for it, and you were given it. What's the cause?
Uneven distribution of neurons.
Can you say it to me? Can you say it to me again?
What, when I'm asking you to give it me? You can beg me again. Go on, let's have this. Beg. I've given it you.
And that's exact.
Yo, shithead! I have already given it you, you stupid buffoon. How dare you? Now you need to beg harder, given that you've already had it, having begged for it. Now beg.
Not gonna beg you.
You already have, and you've been given it after begging. You were already depraved enough and self-loathing enough to beg me, the flat earther who understood your rhetoric better than you. You have already begged me, and I have delivered on giving it you. And yet you still don't seem to know it, which is extremely infuriating. Having been told, you're still going to ask me to tell you again? You need it twice after begging?
Do it. Tell me the answer.
You beg me, bitch. Yeah, I love it. That's because we're winning, ladies and gentlemen. The reason I can berate this fucktard the way I am is because he's a clueless globe-believing idiot like the most of the people watching on the globe side. You haven't got the slightest idea how to prove you're on a sphere, but you're so arrogant as to say I know exactly what gravity is, and then when merely asked for the cause, you have to beg the Flat Earth host to tell you.
No.
Beg
Give me the
John.
answer, because you are too stupid
Yeah,
to
that's the
say
kind
it.
of begging. Now get on your knees and say that.
I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, you already have.
You're too stupid.
You're a stuttering, stammering idiot that believes he's on a sphere. Yeah, I know.
You're too dumb. Because there's so many evidence and experiments that prove what causes the gravity, and you're too dumb to even look at it.
Oh, I feel really bad. I'm dumb, am I? What's the cause of bending pseudo force space? Smart man.
Mass.
Wrong.
Mass of the object.
Wrong. So, you're thick. You know, your little ad hominem fallacy that I don't understand. Wow, that's new. I've never heard that ad hominem fallacy before. Wow. Yeah, I do know. I know precisely what Einstein claimed to be the cause of bending pseudo force space, and I've even said it to you. You just weren't listening. You're too stupid. Don't tell me I don't understand. You weren't even smart enough to pay attention when I told you, after you begged me for the answer, and now we're into the second round of you begging, having been told already. It's pathetic. Tell me I'm thick.
What happened is you stumbled into
Whatever the
major
cause of gravity for you.
The cause of gravity, whatever, the thing you're being asked for, you mean you don't know? You just told me how stupid I was, and yet you don't know the answer to this. It's your claim. Surely you know what the cause is. You're the one claiming it.
Do you know the cause of it?
Yeah, I do, definitely, and I stated it earlier.
And what is it?
Yeah, beg me.
Exactly. You cannot even answer.
Yeah, I've definitely detailed it, and I'll trim it out while I trim out every time you beg. And then say that you're not going to beg.
Come on. Tell me what the cause of gravity.
There's a good lad. Keep begging.
I'm not gonna beg you.
You just did. So keep doing it, begging me to tell you what the cause of the gravity you're claiming is, because you don't know. And yet you've got the gall to claim I'm stupid? No, you're really thick. Dunning-Kruger, you don't know how thick you are. But you're going to tell me you know exactly what gravity is and it's been proven by experiment. That's your latest bullshit claim. Yeah, you don't know what it is. You don't know what the cause is. I've detailed that cause. But you're so stupid you couldn't even listen when I was speaking. So having detailed it to you after you begged me and are continuing to beg me for that cause of your claim of gravity, you still don't know. It's pathetic. You're thick.
Just give me
When
the
you're
answer.
asking the question what
Yeah, that's a good dog. Yeah, beg me to give you the answer. Keep begging.
down is, not the cause of gravity.
Sorry, I heard two people speak at the same time. Can you please say it again, Miss Stacy?
I apologize. You're first asking the question, well, what the cause of gravity is. You mean the cause of things going down? You don't even have proof of gravity.
Yes, there is a proof of gravity. You're standing on the Earth. That's a proof of gravity. Things going.
It's a begging the question fallacy. Because you're standing, therefore gravity, that's a begging the question fallacy. It's absolutely pathetic. So I assume a sky vacuum. Why? Well, because I'm standing here. Therefore, sky's a vacuum. Total non sequitur.
Sky is not a vacuum.
I know it isn't. That's right. Because if it was, the gas we breathe would fill the space. However, the heliocentric model assumes that the sky is 10 to the minus 17 torr vacuum. It isn't. We'd all be dead.
You're misinterpreting the information.
No, it's claimed to be 10 to the minus 17 torr vacuum, and if it was, we'd all be dead. That's entropic law. Gas would diffuse into that available volume. PV equals nRT, standard gas law. Boyle's law, look into it. They all require a volume. And space would be a volume, so gas would fill it. Maybe tell me I don't understand. Maybe tell me that I don't understand science when I haven't claimed any.
Yes, because you think, look, without
Yeah,
gravity.
Mystic Meg, don't tell me what I think, Mystic Meg. You're not going to divine my thoughts, shithead.
Maybe he has an uneven distribution of neurons.
Yeah.
Ask him.
You guys, the reason
sorry,
why you
You've
don't
been asked a question. Did
understand
you not hear?
how does
Too
the
dumb, wasn't paying attention again. You've just been asked a question. What was the question you were asked? Were you listening? See? Too stupid to listen. Is the cause of gravity the uneven distribution of neutrons?
no
What is it? Smarty pants.
cause of gravity is the mass of the object. The more mass
That's the
of the
sixth time you've given that answer and it's wrong. Hello? Thicko? You don't know the answer to your own claim. You're claiming they've proven this shit and you don't even know what the cause is. It's absolutely pathetic.
cause of gravity is the mass of.
Yeah, say it 7 more times, I would. You chanting idiot. Tell me it's the mass of the object again. Go on, chanting idiot. Chant it. That'll make it so. You've been hinting.
The mass of the object
Get this
is
right. At this point, the people on my panel are giving you hints at what it is, but you're so stupid you're not picking up on them. We're literally taking the piss out of you, and you're not even aware of how we're taking the piss out of you, based on your own stupidity and ignorance. Now, had it not been for the fact that you declared quite boldly that you knew exactly what gravity was, you don't. You're just another globe-believing dick who thinks he knows everything, when in fact he doesn't even know his own claim he's expressing. And then the flat earthers are joking and laughing at you by hinting at the answer to the question you haven't got. I've even given it you outright. That's where we're at, you stupid dick. Tell us again that it's the mass of the object. Go on. Give it us for an 8th time. Maybe it'll make it so, you complete ignorant fool.
Have you heard of a Cavendish experiment?
Sorry, that's a Cavendish mass-attracting mass, 106-year out-of-date, not bendy pseudo-force space. Don't talk through me just because I'm humiliating you. It's getting old, globe believers. Every time you assert some dumb shit and I come back with the response, you launch into talking through me. There's no need. Just accept how dumb you are by listening to this response. The Cavendish quasi-experiment has no natural phenomena and is 106 years out of date. Nothing to do with bending pseudo-4 space. It's done in 3 space, unlike pseudo-4 space that we're asking you for the cause of, the current gravity, the Einsteinian gravity, not the old and busted 106-year out of date Reverend John Michel CV Boys Cavendish gravity.
Gravity is gravity. It doesn't matter if it's through Newton's vision or Newton's view or Einstein's view. Gravity is the exact same thing. It just has two different forces, or sorry, gravity pretty much created with the exact same as Einstein. It's just that Einstein's gravity bends more, is more mathematically complex than Newton's view of gravity, because Newton's
see.
view of
I
gravity is
see.
pretty much
That sounds very deep. That's
mass
very
attracting
interesting.
mass.
That's very interesting. It's mathematically complicated. Wow, what an extremely wonderful point you're making. So that's fascinating. What's the cause in Einstein's gravity? Hello, fuckwit with a globe to
I can't
leave.
take it no more.
Einstein's gravity and Newton's gravity is exact.
That's not what I asked. I asked what the cause in Einstein's was. Don't you know? Perhaps you'd like to beg me to tell you. Go on, beg me again, bitch.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, because you're stubborn. Yeah, you're a stubborn, arrogant prick. That's why you won't.
Sounds like you're also a stubborn, arrogant person.
But he knows what the cause of Einstein's gravity is.
All right, you know what? Let's ask Google what's the cause of Einstein's gravity. Shall we?
Should have done that. You should have
Slit.
done that 30 minutes ago.
This is actually so pathetic and amusing.
I'm guessing Nathan had to step away from his mic for a second. He must have a bunch of
Probably.
stuff going on all at once.
Come on, what is it? What is it? You Googled it. Don't take that long. Go ahead.
No, don't tell him.
I just said uncle. Say uncle. Just to give you a little advice, we all know the answers. You're not teaching us anything.
Well, the problem with Googling it is you're going to have to do a lot of reading on it because they kind of hide the answer a little bit within the articles. It's not like you Googling what's the cause of Einsteinian gravity and it just...
Here's
That's something that kid can worry you.
most common,
Chicken
or
warrior
here's Einstein's gravity described. Is most accurately described as a consequence of masses moving along geodesic lines in a curved spacetime caused by uneven distribution of mass.
Oh, we got there in the end then.
Ding, 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 ding.
Wow, how long did it take? You were here claiming this and you've only just read it off the page while stuttering and stammering. How thick are you? Why are you here claiming this? Why? Don't just immediately launch into talking through me. Yeah?
Hold on, I'm sorry.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. So, spastic, you who claims gravity has only just learnt the cause. How dare you come here and tell us what gravity is? How dare you assert that it does anything? You don't have the slightest idea what it is. You should feel ashamed of yourself. You've literally only just parroted off while stuttering and stammering the cause. You don't know. So, not how much mass it's got then. You said that 7 times. Now I'd like you to beg our forgiveness for the shit you poisoned us with. Your wrong assertion that came 7 times. You can apologise for that stupid shit you poisoned us with. Hello, do you understand that you have told us on 7 occasions its amount of mass?
Key words for that was the cause is by uneven distribution.
Yeah, we fucking know what the cause is. Do you think parroting it off now 7 times now you actually know what it is? It's going to change the fact that on 7 separate occasions you told us it was the amount of mass something had. And you were wrong.
Yes, that's what I...
Yeah, you were wrong. It's the uneven distribution of mass as just stated by you, now that you've finally managed to Google search it. Yeah, you're the most arrogant prick here. It's just off the scale arrogance for you to come here and start arguing with this notion, this concept, and you don't even know what causes it. You'll declare 7 times incorrectly what causes it, and after reading it, you'll start going, oh, yeah. My wrong assertion that I've poisoned everybody with was fine. No, mate, you were just thick. You didn't know what you were claiming. You understand now that you didn't even understand what you were claiming? Kept saying it was the amount of mass it had.
I told you that the mass was the key, was the cause.
Yeah, and it's the uneven distribution of mass, specifically in Einsteinian force space. So you didn't know.
So
So you didn't know.
like smaller mass.
So you didn't know.
I knew that, and I
No, you did not. Now you're a liar.
expected it by.
No, you're a liar. You didn't know that. You only just read it off while stuttering. So now you're going to become a liar. It's the kind of scum we have to deal with when we're a flat earther dealing with a globe believer. They'll lie through their back teeth about what they know, Dunning-Kruger style, because they don't know what they don't know, and they're supremely confident in their assertions that gravity's causing things and a force, when in fact it's the uneven distribution of mass in pseudo-force space causing the curvature of space-time, according to Einstein. You didn't know any of that, but you've got the gall to come and tell us what's what. It's a bloody outrage. And even now, in the face of defeat, you're going to try and justify, well, I said mass in my description, therefore close enough. No, mate, just wrong. On all fronts, wrong. You didn't know, but you were here claiming it without knowing what it was.
Mass causes the band of.
Don't tell me what it causes. We already knew. Don't need to tell me. You think you're somehow educating me, do you? No, mate, it's embarrassing. You're going to start parroting through me what we already knew and had to lead you by the hand to go and Google search after asserting incorrectly what it was 7 times. This is the outrageous behaviour you have to deal with when you're dealing with fundamentalist religious zealots with a globe belief. It's the kind of behaviour we have to tolerate. What outrage! 7 times you were wrong telling us how much you know and how you do know what this stuff is, only to stutter your way through the actual cause. Pathetic.
Uneven distribution of mass is still a mass.
Yeah, we know what it is! The problem being that it's uneven distribution of mass in pseudo-force space. Yeah? Pseudo. Not real. Conceptual. It's not causing a force. Yeah, another stony silence from the complete retard globe believer. Why would I expect anything other than a total silence when I port out that, yeah, that's right, uneven distribution of mass, something that you didn't know, yet we're claiming gravity as a force, which it isn't, causes the bending of pseudo-Ramonian force space. That's right. Yeah, we knew that, given that we understand your argument better than you do. You want to tell me again it's uneven distribution of mass? We know. In pseudo-force space. In pseudo...
It's not a...
In pseudo-force space. Yeah? You understand that, right?
It's not a pseudo force space.
Yeah, it is. Pseudo-Ramonian force space. That's length, breadth, depth, and time. You're going to now start being the arrogant prick that knows all about pseudo-force space, do you? No, you don't. You're just arrogant. You haven't got a clue. But now you're going to launch into knowing what space-time is. Yeah, that's the geometry of pseudo-Ramonian force space, length, breadth, depth, and time. Another stony silence from the wanker who knows everything. It's an embarrassment.
Come on, stop teaching us.
Yeah, I'm just getting tired of listening to your bullcrap. That's all I am.
Sorry, my bullcrap. Which part? Pseudo-Ramonian force space is bullcrap, is it? I agree. Einstein's pseudo-force space is bullcrap. You're not tired of listening to me.
Not.
You're fond of talking through me. You don't ever listen to me. I know that because you've chanted 20 times that mass attracts mass gravity as a force. I know you don't like listening to my bullshit because my bullshit is your bullshit. I'm talking about your pseudo-force space, that you don't like hearing the pseudo bit. Yeah, it's pseudo-geometry, my friend. That's what Einstein called it. Not bullshit, your bullshit. Not my bullshit. Einstein's bullshit. You're tired of hearing it because you don't like it.
I think he's having a problem accepting the fact that he's been lied to, like the 99% of the Western world who still believe in this lie. He just can't admit that he fell for this, even though you've shown him example after example that his claims don't match up with reality.
The problem is that you don't put Newton's gravity and Einstein's gravity together because the exact same force or the exact same phenomenon.
They're a completely
What do you
different
know
geometry.
about what do you know about
Euclidean
Newton's
3 space versus pseudo-Riemannian 4 space, they're in a totally different geometry. While he says they're the same and I don't associate them together, they're a completely different geometry.
You know,
What do you know about
space-time
Newton-
is what causes attraction of different masses. Because
What's
the bigger
Newton's
mass will
gravity?
attract the smaller mass because the bend of space-time around the bigger mass will cause the smaller mass to go toward the bigger mass.
So steam, which is a small mass, will go to the centre of Earth as a big mass then?
Yes.
So steam, go down, go boom, boom. Yeah? That's where we're at. Idiot.
Pull
No.
toward the
No,
Earth.
no, don't just chant through me. So the small mass of gas of steam goes to the big mass of Earth. That's what you've just said. No, we've just gone full circle again. Circle jerking fundy. Steam not going down, go boom, boom like bouncy balls. Maybe telling me you don't like the term bouncy balls and actually it's sinking like you did before 20 times. Yeah. Maybe give me a bit of an upward inflection when I say gas isn't going down, go boom, boom, or ask you which gases are produced in the sky and going down towards the mass of Earth when they're all produced at ground level going up. Yeah, we've already done this now, haven't we, my friend? Mass isn't attracting mass in Euclidean 3 space. It doesn't even have time in that dimension. So while you say they're compatible, where's time in Cavendish 3 space?
Why are you throwing your sausage? Jesse, why are you throwing your sausage? Sorry, guys. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Where's the time in Cavendish experiment? Just by observing, because time as it ticks, the balls got closer and closer. That's pretty much
No.
a
You
concept
don't
of space-time.
understand. It's okay. You can stop. You don't understand. No, you misunderstand what I meant. The dimension of time. Where's that? Not how much time elapses on a stopwatch. The dimension in the pseudo-Riemannian 4 space, length, breadth, depth, and time as a dimension. Where's that in the 3 space for Newton? Do you need it a second time, or do you want to tell me about a stopwatch?
Time is outside of space.
Sorry, where's that dimension of time in 3 space now? Where's that dimension? Because they're compatible, aren't they? They're not, as I've asserted, because I'm just a stupid flat earther, that they are completely different geometries. Obviously, they're compatible, therefore, the dimension of time is accounted for with Cavendish, right? They're measuring that dimension in there, obviously, before it's been invented by Einstein. Obviously, I'm just stupid, aren't I? So where's this time dimension?
Is outside.
Sorry, you need to chant through the end of the question every time. Where's the time dimension for Cavendish? The dimension of time, right? Space-time. Where's that? Given that it wasn't even invented.
It's outside.
Sorry, it wasn't even invented when they did that. So what are you talking about?
You just
Sorry, it wasn't even invented. Maybe stutter your way about an ad hom that you're going to try and develop. Yeah? It wasn't even invented by Einstein, this time dimension. So when I ask you where it is for it to be compatible geometry, as you're asserting, it isn't. You're just thick and don't understand this stuff.
The basic concept of the space-time is that things happen in three-dimensional space.
No, it'd be four-dimensional pseudo-Riemannian 4 space when you're talking about space-time. You don't understand this stuff. Not how much time in 3 space. No. Length, breadth, depth, and time as a dimension. You are just thick.
Well, if it's a dimension, we cannot see it.
Sorry, why can't we see it? Because it's only conceptual. Why can't we see space-time? Because it's not real. Want me to repeat that?
Yeah,
we can't see space-time because it is a concept. A geometry, maths, a way of describing things, abstract. So it's not real. That's why we can't see Einstein space-time. You understand now, son? Hello? Can't see it because it's not real. Hello?
It is real.
Oh, so why can't we see it then?
Because it's mathematically.
Oh, mathematically is abstract. That's descriptions. That's abstract. That's not real. Physics deals with physical. Maths is abstract. You stupid idiot. Don't you know the difference between maths and physics? Physics, physical. Maths, abstract. Descriptions. So if it describes it in maths, that doesn't make it physical. That's why it's not a force. It's abstract. Maths. Pseudo-Ramonian force-based geometry. Abstract maths. Not forces.
Nathan, you should be getting paid for giving him an education. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he should be paying me for begging me.
I'm not gonna beg you.
It's understandable why people get confused about this, though. I mean, the entire world is confused in entropic effect with something called gravity.
Could I put him straight on something, Nathan?
Be my guest.
Thank you. The main difference, besides everything that Nathan's been saying to you, the main difference between what you're calling a force of attraction between masses, which is what was termed as the force of gravity, and what Einstein is saying, or was saying, which was gravity was just an effect, is that one, which is the force of gravity, that claims to be the cause of weight, whereas Einstein doesn't claim gravity to be the cause of weight. Gravity is just an acceleration in his theory, and there is no mass attracting mass in his theory. Well, you said earlier on that the curvature of space-time causes Earth to move, and I think it was, I can't remember how you said it, I think causes objects to fall towards Earth. It's like, no. In his theory of general relativity, the Earth is accelerating up towards the object, not that the object is being attracted down to the Earth. There is no downward attraction. The Earth is always accelerating up. He only ever accounted for one mass in his field equations because he never needed to account for more within his theory. You understand? He doesn't claim that gravity causes weight. Gravity is just purely an effect. Basically it's even a pseudo effect because he's really only talking about acceleration and not an attraction.
He's talking about math. Can he please explain to me how mathematical description can do something? Can you explain that to me? James, did you understand the nature of my question? How can a mathematical description do something, cause something to accelerate?
No, it does not. No, according to the Einstein, he proposed that the gravity you're right. He proposed that the gravity was not an attractive force, but more of a bend of a space-time, and he used a mathematical formula to actually describe how would objects react, or pretty much how would objects behave in influence of the space-time bend due to gravity.
You say space-time is bending. Is space-time physical? Hold on a second. Is space-time physical?
According in Einstein's model, yes, he pictured it as being a physical, but the space-time is actually what's happening around us in time.
That's not answering my question. It's a simple question. It's a simple yes or no question. Is space-time physical?
Space-time physical? It's pretty much anything that's around you that's physical.
No, it's not.
Wait a minute. Okay. No, it's, yeah, I mean, my phone is a physical object. It's not space-time.
Space-time is a mathematical model which fuses the three dimensions of space in the one dimension of time into a single four-dimensional manifold.
Now back to my original question. How can a mathematical description or model do anything?
It just gives you the understanding of what's happening in what's happening with the objects under the cause of gravity.
In the model.
The answer is it can't.
In the model,
yes, in the
describes
model.
that. It describes that in model. In the model, it does that. Yeah. What Paul's asking you though is
right.
what happens in physicality though, not what happens in the model or what's described with abstract maths. And Paul's saying, well, it's being described with Yeah, I haven't finished.
Sorry. I'm
It's
sorry.
being described with abstract maths. And how does a description with abstract maths cause something to happen? The answer is it doesn't. It's just an abstract description. Abstractions don't cause things.
And one other thing.
Whatever. Sorry, go ahead.
One other thing. This seems to be continually mixed up. Gravity is not causing anything in the theory of general relativity. It is a cause of something. As you were saying earlier, the uneven distribution of mass causes the effect of the curvature of space-time. The curvature of space-time is the effect called gravity, basically.
Well, see, that's why I use the idea of how can space-time or something, a conceptual medium, cause something to happen or cause an acceleration. So, because they say it's an acceleration, right? Gravity is this acceleration. So, but it's the bending of space-time, which is a mathematical model. So, how can a mathematical model cause something to accelerate? It's just there's logical inconsistencies across the board on this.
They observed it by looking at the way light was bent around the massive objects through by the cause of gravity. They showed how the light was bent. Sometimes they were able to see very distant objects through the phenomena known as a gravitational lensing, where light is bent around a massive object and amplified in.
Sorry, gravitational lensing. So you're trying to prove gravity by assuming gravitational lensing when you assume physicality and mass to a light in the sky? A lot of assumptions and begging the question fallacy overall, my friend. Not just say gravitational lensing to prove gravity. That's begging the question.
Plus,
they proved the bend of space-time through gravitational lensing. Yes.
That's begging the question. Begging the question. Are you dumb? What's a begging the question fallacy? Hello?
Begging the question fallacy?
Yeah, what does that mean? Don't tell me I made it up either.
I don't know what's the begging the question.
Look it up.
Okay.
And also, that sounds like it could be a sharpshooter fallacy in that too, because I have this model that I'm trying to prove. So I go out and look in nature, and I find something that matches what I've proven. That's a sharpshooter fallacy. Just drawing a circle around drawing a circle around your target.
Also called cherry picking. Yes, correct.
He claimed cause. He needs to provide the hypothesis and the scientific method here. Like, what did they manipulate? DV, IV, CV? So
Einstein's prediction was that the gravity would bend the space-time and the light will bend around the object and cause the appearance of the distant objects at a different
we heard you the
position.
first time, right? My friend, none of us are deaf. Yeah? We heard. I said it was a begging the question fallacy and asked you to look it up. Did you look up what begging the question fallacy is, or are you just going to chant the same claim again? We're not deaf. We heard.
Yes, I did looked up what the begging the question was. The begging the question fallacy is having an answer without any support.
No, it isn't.
Hold on.
Read out what it says. Is that what it says? No, it isn't. I assure you.
Begging a question. When the argument premises assumes the truth of the conclusion instead of supporting it.
So we're assuming that gravitational lensing is what we're observing, is it?
It has been observed in real life, yes.
Gravitational lensing. It's not the thing you're trying to prove or anything, is it? It's not that we're just going to assume it automatically, even though it's the thing you're trying to prove. This isn't that, is it? It's not you assuming the thing is true before we've done anything. It's not like we've got gravitational. It's not like we've got gravitational lensing already in your description, is it?
Description of what?
Of gravity. So within your description of something you're trying to prove, you've described it with gravitational lensing. That would be a begging the question fallacy. That's the fourth time.
No, I gave you an example of how the space-time is bent due to gravity, and the gravitation.
Like bending space-time is gravity, and now you're going to say, I'm going to show you bending space-time because of gravity. So because of gravity, the thing you're trying to prove, you can show me bending space-time, which is gravity. So that's circular reasoning, otherwise known as a begging the question fallacy, third time I've told you.
No, they use the gravitational lensing.
So they use the gravity to prove the gravity? It's a begging the question fallacy. You're getting really irritating because you're thick. You're thick. You've literally read out the definition of a begging the question fallacy, circular reasoning. Yet you want to keep chanting that because of gravitational lensing you can prove gravity? My God. You're stupid.
Your recording.
Yet another stony silence. No acknowledgement that he's begged the question. Then he immediately starts talking through me, of course. Yet you've begged the question, that's a logical fallacy. Maybe a concession that you have employed fallacy, not good logic, not proof of your claim, a fallacy, fallacious reasoning, a flaw in logic. I've pointed it out, and then I've got a stony silence, and when I've started to point that out, you start talking through me. Scum.
I think the problem is that both of us trying to speak at the same time, so we keep interrupting each other.
Yeah, the problem is me beginning a statement after leaving a pause for you to respond, after pointing out that you begged the question 4 times. I leave a pause, start my sentence, and then you start talking. Yes, that is a problem that you are causing. So, you have begged the question, assumed the very thing you're supposed to be proving in your statement. Lensing by way of gravity proves gravity, that's bending of space-time, that's gravity. So gravity proving gravity, that's circular logic, begging the question. 5 times I've told you. Now what I don't want is a stony silence followed by you interrupting the very next thing I say after that silence. You've begged the question. I'd like you to acknowledge you're begging the question fallacy, your flaw in logic. Can you do that? Do you have any balls?
Here's what I found. A gravitational lens is a distribution of matter between distant light source and observer that is capable of bending the light from the source of the light as it travels to the observer due to the cause of gravity, and under the description of the Einstein's general relativity, the
yeah, do you think that detailing it again is going to change that it's a begging the question fallacy? It isn't. What part of this isn't processing? Is it literally, he's just explained how begging the question fallacy is working. I've just read out the definition of a begging the question fallacy, but I'll read out what Einstein says with its begging the question fallacy to justify my begging the question fallacy. Do you think that's going to work?
You're right, I was
and what he read it wasn't from Einstein.
Say again, Brian?
I'm just saying, what he read it was not, unless he read it maybe differently, it wasn't from Einstein, because it's claimed gravity as a cause. It sounds to me like there's a lot of stuff that this lad has been reading that come from people who also don't understand the theory of general relativity. And technically, he's not begging the question. Someone else before him begged the question.
He actually admitted he begged the question.
Hold on. Brian's in the middle of a statement.
Yeah, I'm just saying that technically he's not begging the question. That many before him have begged the question, and he's just continuing it on because he thinks that it's a proven fact.
That's correct.
He doesn't know any different.
Exactly. So while Brian's absolutely correct, what he's citing begs the question. It becomes your argument, though. So he is begging the question. Doesn't matter who he's got it from. If I adopt someone's argument and put it in debate, it becomes mine. Doesn't matter. I can't blame the citation because I've used the fallacy that the citation uses. I've used it. He has used it. But Brian's point is absolutely correct. He's just reading off of begging the question fallacy because it's written down in the justification. Therefore, it's right. So I'll just repeat the begging the question fallacy because it is so written.
Well, he did admit that he was begging a question, so you got to give him that. He admitted it. I heard him say it.
Oh, really?
Well, he never answered Brian's description of acceleration from Einstein. I'd like Brian to repeat that question where the Earth is moving upwards, one mass, versus his view of gravity, which is 2 masses. And then Brian told him that gravity in its original sense was gravitas, which was they're trying to figure out weight. So, Brian, you want to give him another chance at that?
Yeah, okay. Okay, Ted. Yeah, gravity as a force is claiming that the claim was gravity caused weight. Whereas in Einstein's theory of general relativity, there was only one mass accounted for, and it's not the cause of weight. There's an upward acceleration of this one mass, which is the Earth, let's just say, from our vantage point, all the time. So nothing is being attracted down. The Earth is always accelerating up. So there's no force of attraction causing weight in his theory of general relativity.
In Einstein's general theory of relativity, the movement, the mass of the object was causing the. Sorry, let me redo it. The gravity is the curvature of space-time, and according to Einstein's general theory of relativity, because of that curvature, the motion of the object is going to be affected by the space-time curvature because it's being attracted by the gravity to a more massive object. That's
That's
what the
incorrect.
Einstein's general theory of relativity was.
No, you're missing. No, that's not correct. The curvature of space-time causes the acceleration. The acceleration is of the mass of Earth is always up the way from everyone's point of view, regardless of even if you believe you're on a sphere. For everyone, the Earth is accelerating up the way all the time. So objects are not being attracted down towards it due to a force of attraction. All objects are just when you drop an object in that theory, when you drop an object, it is in what Einstein called free fall as its natural state of being, and the Earth accelerates up to it. That's how he explained it. You have to remember, these are all just explanations of phenomena. That's all they are. There's no proving anything in here.
And the gravity, the space-time curve causes the acceleration toward the center of the curve, according to the Einstein's and according to the Einstein's view of the gravity.
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, then be sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification icon and join button to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support the channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they are live, and there's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below this video. Also below the video, you can get £50 for swapping your UK electricity supplier to Octopus Energy. Most importantly, if you'd like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the nature of Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel, so please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. Now, we are joined by Father of a Stolen Child, Brian's Logic, Neil, 10th Man Rising, and a whole bunch of people in Discord. However, they're all on mute, so they don't know I actually started the live show because there's very good discussion going on between the two panels. So I'm going to take myself off mute so that they can be heard by you in the audience, and hopefully the show will continue as it's been going up until now.
on a different schedule.
Doesn't mean up
this morning.
anymore.
We understand. He's a busy man, so.
What?
He's on a different schedule this morning.
Yeah. He told us that his wife had a dental, right? Dental surgery or something. So.
Okay,
she's
but we're
back now.
on the show. Why are you even covering that? Come on. My goodness.
Muted for a long time there.
Hang on. I got
You guys were
something for this
muted.
guy. Okay, I got something for this guy. Do you know what Newton said about gravity? Because you've been quoting him a lot.
I would like to know what he said, because I feel like what he
You've been
said,
quoting him.
in my perspective, would be. Yes, I know. I've been calling Newton.
Okay, what are you ascribing to Newton?
Well, according to the Newton, the force of gravity attracts all the heavier objects would fall faster toward the Earth than the lighter objects.
Are you
And the
sure?
gravity attracts all the masses at the same time. Well, at the same
Are you sure?
force.
Are you sure?
Like I said, my interpretation could be different than yours. So.
No, what reference are you using to give that statement for Newton that causes your interpretation? Are you certain that you've done your homework to know that's what your interpretation is true to Newton's words?
According, every particle attracts every other particle in the universe with a force that is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of distance between their centers. So the more massive the objects, the more the more they attract each other, and the closer the distance, the more attractions between objects are. That's the Newton's law of universal.
So that's what you're told Newton said. That's your parroting. But let me read what Newton said. And this is one reason why I desired you would not ascribe innate gravity to me. That gravity should be innate, inerrant, and essential to matter, so that one body may act upon another at a distance through a vacuum, without the mediation of anything else. By and through which their action and force may be conveyed from one to another is to me so great an absurdity that I believe no man who has in philosophical matters a competent faculty of thinking can ever fall into it. Gravity must be caused by an agent acting constantly according to certain laws, but whether this agent be material or immaterial, I have left open to the consideration of my readers. Newton never said what you read. You're just being fooled again. You just read stuff from liars before you, and you parrot it, and you've been schooled so many times on this show alone that you can't even concede when you're wrong about steam forming puddles or not.
Can you send me a link to that quote? I would like to read it myself.
It's in Master B. I posted it. Someone posted for him.
That was a letter, wasn't it? To was it to Cambridge, the head of Cambridge?
Something like that, yeah.
It was some philosopher. I think Dawkins was the man's name. Philosopher of his time. I could have the name wrong. I thought it was Dawkins.
Yeah, I know it was a letter. I don't know exactly who it was to. It was another intellectual of the time.
But we covered all of this in the pre-show. You're going to assert that something with a mass will attract something else with a mass, and if it's got a bigger mass, it's got more attraction. Then gas go down, go boom, boom, because it's got mass and the centre of Earth's got mass? No. It's the end of that argument.
Well, the heliocentric model doesn't claim it even does that officially. Like, that's not gravity. That's a story that people think gravity is, but it's not. That's not what it is.
They don't claim to know what gravity is, even in the heliocentric model.
Because all this talk about forces is not involved. Understand? Forces are not involved with gravity.
I think Newton understands something, and this is what I've been the questions I do. Of course, I'm getting a phone call at the moment. Let me try to get this out. Is he knew that there had to be some kind of physical mediation, not some ethereal, some conceptual thing that was causing this. He knew there. So don't give this to me. I don't know what it is, but you guys can go after it. I think that's what he understood.
Yeah, I would kind of agree with what Paul was saying. Is that to me it sounded like in the letter, like he was saying when he said mass is a mass going to one mass going to another mass. I think he was more speaking about just the phenomena. Like he would have called something being dropped and going to the floor as the phenomena. So I think maybe he was stating, I don't know why that happens.
In Brooklyn, we'd say, don't put this shit on me.
Well, in the narcissistic world of heliocentrism, if you protest too much about something not being ascribed to you, they'll name it after you.
Yeah.
Was it Brahe? They'd have to be enormous. The lights in the sky would be absolutely gigantic. I love it.
How big do you think the sun is?
Right.
How big do I don't know. No idea. It's only got an apparent
It's
size.
definitely.
Oh, my bad. Maybe
They
the
measured
answer.
the-
Maybe
the
the answer
size
needs
of a sun.
immediate interruption.
Sorry.
We can only measure an apparent size of the sun. So I don't
And
know,
how
and
big do
neither
you
do
think
you.
the apparent size?
And maybe just talk through it a second time. It's what we deal with, just wankers. Second time you've done that. So we've only got an apparent size to measure. So I don't know, and neither do you.
They did measure the size of a sun.
What, from space in your spaceship? We covered that in the pre-show, though, didn't we? Gas would fill the space. Gas not going down, go boom boom. None produced in the sky to force the steam up. Yeah, we debunked all of that crap. So no, they're not measuring it from your sky vacuum like you claimed in the pre-show.
You
He
didn't because
hasn't
you
learned
only said that
anything.
the steam that the steam was the only gas in when attracted, but you forgot that there's more than one gas when the steam is released.
Oh, I forgot when I asked you to describe the homogeneous layer of... Who's fucking talking through me? So when I asked you to detail the homogeneous layer of gas and which gas that would be, you detailed it, didn't you? Because I've just ignored that. I haven't detailed it 6 times. Which homogeneous layer of gas would that be?
There is no homogeneous layer of gas.
So you're just talking shit, the same shit we've already debunked then?
I told you that the...
Yeah, you told me that it all goes up from the ground. It's all dispersing, yeah. It's not going down, go boom, boom with gravity. Yeah, you told us that too. You also told us that gas was created in the sky, went down, go boom, boom, 9.8 meters per second to force the steam up, until I pointed out that none of the gases are doing that. We've covered all of this.
I never said that the gases were created in the atmosphere and then...
Atmosphere? Atmosphere? Atmo means air. Sphere is your fundamentalist presupposition. Another begging the question fallacy. Why would you assume that air takes the shape of a sphere? Don't beg the question.
Yes, it takes the shape of a sphere because...
No, it takes the shape of its container. You don't understand gas law. You're a moron. Hello? Gas does not take the shape of a sphere. Gases have no inherent shape. That's nonsense. They take the shape of the container. Whatever space they have to fill, they fill. And if the sky vacuum was a space, then gas would fill it. Your response to assert that pseudo-Riemannian bending for space, that would be gravity in its current context, is causing gas to go down, go boom boom, that's been completely demolished. 20 times!
I never said that the gas was going down like a balls. I never said that it was going like a boom boom. It's your own interpretation.
No, it's Thunderf00t's interpretation. He poured bouncy balls into a fish tank and asserted that the gas goes down. When I pointed that out to you last time, you said it sinks. So according to you, gas sinks. Yeah? Like bouncy balls poured into a fish tank, they sink through the air. Yeah? No, gas doesn't do that. It expands to fill the space. It's not sphere-shaped. You're just begging the question with atmosphere. So you need gas to be arbitrarily in the shape of a sphere. When gas has no inherent shape, it takes the shape of whatever container it's in.
And the gravity acts as a...
Why are you chanting gravity through us? Yeah, you've already said at the beginning of the live show. We've got a centre of mass, and the bigger it is, the more it'll attract the smaller mass. Oh, right, so gas with mass will attract to Earth. We get puddles of gas, do we? No, we don't. They're all produced at the ground and going up, dispersing, with an entropic effect that we've covered 25 times.
Center of mass, did he measure the radius of this geometry he's claimed there's a center to?
How'd you get the centre of mass for your assertion of gravity with a centre of mass of Earth attracting the mass of gas, which it doesn't do?
Is the center of gravity. That's why everything is...
Yeah, where'd you get it, you stupid idiot? Try to listen to the questions. Where'd you get R? Centre of the mass of Earth, that's R. Where'd you get it?
It's also gravity as a force, which he's gone back to.
Yeah, I know.
The R is the how deep the Earth is to the core.
Sorry, we don't need to know what a radius is. We're not stupid. Where'd you get Earth radius, you dumb idiot? Where'd you get your Earth R?
They measured it.
How?
How do you think they know how...
sorry, don't ask me something. How did they measure it?
They used the seismic waves to measure how deep the sound of from the earthquakes went traveled through the Earth.
So P waves and S waves?
Yes.
Oh, right. So they're accurate then?
Yes, they are.
Really? So why, when they dig the Kola deep, how do they call it? Super deep borehole, why did they get it wrong?
They didn't.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did.
They got it wrong. They predicted they'd hit rock, they hit water.
Multiple
they
times
predicted they'd hit
after
sand, they hit
re-engaging
clay. They got it wrong. The P waves and S waves said they'd hit a certain material and they were wrong. Did you not know that? You want to deny it again?
I didn't know that.
Oh, really? So yet again, the globe believer's the most ignorant person here. What a shock. Yeah, P waves and S waves didn't give you your R value. You're wrong again. So, back to the same question. You've asserted mass centre of, that's an R value. Didn't get it from P waves and S waves, that's for damn sure. So you haven't got an R value. Centre of M1 you haven't got. You haven't got R. Hello? Your crap that
Hold
you've
on.
been peddling has been annihilated. Hello?
Hold on.
I'm holding. I'm bated breath. Still holding.
Did the penny just drop on him on the P and S waves?
You asked me how did they get the R? They measured the diameter at the equator of the Earth was 12,756 kilometers.
Oh, excellent. What's the equator? What's the equator exactly?
The equator is right between the tropics of Cancer and the tropics of Capricorn. That is right in the middle of of the Earth.
How'd you decide that? How'd you derive that?
Because the equator is where the sun at the...
Sorry, sun? Sorry, I'm very confused. Sorry, circumference, now you're talking about the sun. That's very confusing.
Sorry,
you don't seem to be listening to me. You told me that you measured the circumference of Earth and talked about an equator. I asked you what the equator was, and now you're talking about what the sun does. That's very confusing.
I'm trying to describe how did they measure it, and you...
Sorry, measure
you
what?
interrupted
Sorry,
me on
measure
that.
what? This is a position on the ground, is it? Because you seem to be detailing what the sun does. Measure what? The sun?
They use
Not a circumference from the ground then. More over the movement of the sun That's what the equator is. The movements of the sun averaged, then. Not a position on the ground.
Is where the sun is.
Yeah, I know. It's the sun that you're detailing now, and I'm saying that's confusing, given that you're telling me that you're measuring a circumference, the equator, and then when I ask what the equator is, you tell me it's something the sun does.
Equator is an imaginary line. Right?
Oh, imaginary. You're measuring the imaginary line circumference, are you? Oh, dear.
But they still measure.
Imaginary? They're just still measuring that imaginary line, are they? Sorry, are we going to get this R value from Imagination Land? Imagination Land, right? They still can measure this imaginary line.
No.
No? So failure number 2. So not P waves and S waves, and not an imaginary line either. So you haven't got R.
What he's claiming, there, what he's claiming there is Eratosthenes. Eratosthenes measured a flat diameter to Earth, which would be close to 25,000 miles in his, going by the conversion of the best they can from state days to feet and miles and whatever, would be a flat diameter of 25,000 miles. But then he supposedly decided that the sun rays were parallel and not divergent, even though we've never seen anything but divergent sun rays. And then he decided to match it to maths that he already had from Pythagoras and say it's a globe. So how can you measure a flat diameter, then state that the sun is something or doing something that it's not, and then correlate that with mathematics that you already have from a guy from years ago before you and state it's a globe? That's what happened. And it's funny that the globe out the equator line is the same distance, more or less, as the flat diameter that he would have originally measured.
It's a begging the question, fallacy on steroids.
Yeah.
Shout out to Godzilla37. It says, for just $5 measly, you too can trigger ballers. Thank you very much for the super chat, Godzilla37.
Well, I'm just wondering why they don't go to the curvature calculator anymore. It's almost like that's been debunked or something.
Yeah, that's.
How do you have a sphere without curvature now?
The curvature calculator is not accurate to what we see.
Oh, right. Welcome to Flat Earth.
It's not. The Earth is not flat.
Sorry, the curvature calculator doesn't match what we see, and what it says we see is curvature.
Right. You're claiming you can't see physical geometry. That's really nice.
So it doesn't represent how much in feet and inches the physical Earth curve edge horizon would block things. It doesn't do that. Yeah, that's what we say. Of course, globe believers say that it does show that. You seem to be somewhere in between, limbo between thinking that the curve calculator shows you how much the horizon blocks things, and then realizing that the image on screen, the black swan, shows beyond all certitude that you don't have a physical geometric sphere edge for a horizon. So the curve calculator definitely does assert that the horizon gets in the way of things because it's Earth curve. It's just we've debunked that.
It's all a load of nonsense without R, man. You just got to realize that.
Do you know what debunk means?
Yes, it means proven wrong, or pretty much, yeah, proven wrong.
Yeah, so the curve calculator asserts that the Earth curve is represented at the horizon. We have proven that wrong with the black swan. Do you want to tell me how it doesn't represent what we see again? Because that's what it's claimed to do. Represent what we see? It doesn't. It's a side profile view of the side of your own head, which you never get. So we already knew it didn't represent what we see. But of course, that's what it's claimed to do. It was compared to photographs. For example, several years ago, we had people coming and telling us that a physical geometric sphere edge that they drew tangents to in their maths blocked the bottom of the Isle of Man to a certain tune of feet and inches values. That they argued about how much or how little there should be blocked at the physical geometric sphere edge horizon claimed in that maths you say doesn't represent what we see? Yeah, welcome to Flat Earth.
Again, Earth is not flat.
Now chant it. It hasn't got curvature. So, yeah, without the curvature, we're left with the obvious and observable, which is that it's flat, how it's measured. So just chanting it, hand wave dismissal. If it was spherical, we'd have curve, and we don't.
Yeah, unless you know some kind of a geometry that is not spherical, but not flat at the same time. If you have any suggestions.
So basically, he's admitting that geometric limitations prove the Earth is not a sphere, but at the same time, he's claiming it's not flat.
Well, that's the denying the measurements of flatness.
Of course.
That's all that is.
He
Denying what
typifies
measure.
anti-flat earther. So he's just told us, he's a globe believer, so he thinks, that the curve calculator, the thing that's supposed to calculate how much curve you will see at the horizon, and how many feet and inches of drop at the horizon, all of those things are what the calculator claims we see, says a globe believer. This man says, quote, the curve calculator does not represent what we see. So he's an anti-flat earther. You know, he's bracing against our rebuttal that demolishes the claim that the calculator's what we see. So therefore he's got to go against that now. Why? Well, because we say it. So it doesn't matter that his statement that it's not what we see is basically worthy of welcome to flat earth then. So not what we see. Oh, right, not earth curve then, as shown in the geometry. Oh, no, it's not flat. That's his response. That's all he's got. Just doesn't want to be part of the club that he probably thinks this is, rather than appreciating that the world he's been presented with and told he lives on has no curvature.
A flat Earth. Like I said, Earth is not flat.
Yeah, you just keep chanting that. Well, show us curve then.
I just posted in...
No, if it's not flat, do you want to show us some curvature?
You can see the curvature when you look at the distance and see that the objects would be disappearing beyond the horizon.
So the horizon is a physical geometric sphere edge then? No, we've debunked that. If the Earth was a sphere with a radius of 3959 miles, then every distance to horizon measurement could be no more than 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. As per the geometric, begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking Earth curve calculator. And the images of the black swan demonstrate beyond all certitude that the limitation claimed to be a physical horizon is beyond the limitations of the geometry of a sphere, Earth radius 3959. Therefore, the Earth is not a sphere, and the horizon is not physical Earth curve. So no, we've debunked the horizon as a physical Earth curve edge. So to say, oh, I can see curvature at the horizon, is you telling me that the horizon is now Earth curve, like in your Earth curve maths? So in your Earth curve maths, it says the horizon's going to block things. But you've also told us that that maths doesn't represent what we see. Cognitive dissonance much?
Yeah, or maybe he thinks he can see it, but just not calculate it somehow.
The curve calculator doesn't represent what we see. How the hell are you going to claim that the blockage at the horizon is Earth curve, as per the maths, that you say doesn't represent what we see? You seem to be in cognitive dissonance, my friend. It can't both not be what we see and be your claim that the physical geometry is blocking things. Meanwhile, we've debunked it with the black swan. It's beyond all limitations of a geometric sphere edge horizon.
Show me
It's not.
Show me the picture that debunked the Earth's curvature.
It's called the black swan. It shows the horizon beyond 9.6 miles when at the limitations of a geometry that you assert in the maths that you say doesn't represent what we see now, because you're an anti-flat earther, it would be at 1.2 miles. So the physical limitation of your view based on the geometry would be at 1.2 miles in that image, and it's beyond 10 miles, beyond things that should be obscured by it. Now, if the response to that is that it's refracted, then you can no longer use it to gain tangents to do the geometry as per the depiction on screen. So the depiction on screen is the Metabunk curve calculator that shows a straight line, that would be the geometric requirement for this model, tangent to a physical geometric sphere edge horizon, blocking things with a value that they'll give with a hidden attribution at feet or meters values. So this is a claim that the horizon blocks things into the distance. If that was the case, then this would be the limitation to your view at 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. The black swan shows it's beyond that. Therefore, this geometry is no longer capable of being done. because the response is to say that this line required to do the geometry, called a tangent, is in fact bent, therefore no longer capable of being utilised as a tangent. Bye-bye globe geometry, black swan.
Pictures of Master B, Nathan.
But you can see that the farther
Nathan, what was the
platform
observer height
is
again?
lower than the
1 foot, Arwin. He was at 1 foot. Therefore, the horizon,
How many
physical,
miles
geometric.
away?
Say again?
How many miles
The-
away at 1 foot observer height?
10 miles. The horizon was at 10 miles. It should have been at 1.2.
Wow.
Shout out to you, Unitox Femu. I was so sure that it's enough to say
Oh.
curvature. Yeah, just say curvature or gravity, and that's enough, right? Thanks for the super chat.
You could always invalidate the measurements and say that it's refracted. That's always a way to go with it, I guess.
Yeah.
Stupid.
I'll invalidate the requirement for a tangent to the horizon I say blocks things by saying that that tangent is now refracted and no longer a tangent to do the geometry with.
Well, you know,
Hey,
maybe
trying to say
there
something.
could
Wait, he was
have been.
about to say
Can I say
something.
Owen,
something?
Owen.
Maybe
Owen
there
first.
could have been some kind of observational effect that would allow this. So, hey, if anybody could basically demonstrate an optics situation where a confirmed measured spherical surface could be seen as if it were a perfectly straight flat surface, now then we might have a clue of some sort of terrestrial refraction, but I've never seen it. I've seen the claim that light can bend supposedly, but never actually a spherical surface being visibly turned into an apparent flat surface. That I've never seen.
Because it only exists in the mathematics. 7/6 of a radius value would initially require you acquire the radius value. So you'd have to get the r value, and Al-Biruni acquired it by drawing a tangent to a physical geometric sphere edge, and then utilising mathematics to derive the r by way of a dip angle measurement. Well, that mathematics needs a tangent, and they haven't got one anymore. It's apparently refracted, so bye-bye globe geometry. Bye-bye globe physical horizon to block things. Apparently it's refracted now. So a non-physical refracted location is apparently blocking boats and buildings with its physical attributes. It's nonsense. It's descended into a paradox.
Right. Also,
Nathan,
bye-bye Al-Biruni. Your services are no longer required.
But there's a
Nathan,
measurement. There's a measurement that's not invalidated, and that's what all surveyors use. What any architect will use. It's measured flat. It's flat.
The lad was trying to say something there a minute ago, and he just didn't get a chance to get it in.
Yeah, I wanted to hear his answer for the picture. He was about to say something.
Okay, well, it's on screen. Black Swan. Platform Habitat and Platform Hill House. Platform Hill House at 6.21 miles. Platform Habitat at 9.41 miles. The horizon beyond both.
I don't think that the geometric horizon is 2.73 miles away.
It isn't. I know. That's what debunks your globe model. The globe model says that it is. And it isn't. You're right. Welcome to Flat Earth.
Earth
That's
is
right.
not
It's
flat
not
again.
supposed.
Say again? Come again?
I said Earth is not flat. Is not flat again.
Oh, you just chanted your hand wave dismissal.
No, it's not, because the geometric horizon at the sea level is.
Sorry, what geometric horizon? We don't have one.
Or did you already forget?
Yeah, he already forgot. He already blanked it from his memory. We don't have a geometric horizon. Third time's a
Yes,
charm.
the geometric horizon.
We
No,
don't
you're right.
have a geometric horizon. Don't just ignore it 3 times and then tell me about what the geometric horizon does. We don't have one.
I'm not saying what it does.
Yeah, well, the curve maths does. I don't give a shit what you say. Curve maths says it would be at 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. And we've debunked that. Now you think I give a flying fuckiyama what you think? No, mate. Globe maths says it will be at 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. It isn't. Now, we've only got one horizon, and the horizon, and you're begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking, Earth curve calculator, that you say doesn't represent what we see, has a horizon that blocks things, and it's beyond the limitations of that geometric limitation. We've debunked it, proved it wrong. You want to tell me what the
You know
geometric
what's
horizon does again when we haven't got one?
You know what's interesting is he was.
Geometric horizon is
Yeah, we haven't got one. We haven't got one, you stupid clown. We don't have a geometric horizon. How many times? It only exists in the maths. We only have one horizon. Your horizon is geometric. Your horizon only exists in the maths, and your horizon is not the horizon we see in actual reality. We don't have a geometric horizon. Don't launch into telling me what it does. We haven't got one. We've only got one. It's not geometric. It's on screen now. It's not your globe horizon. Simple.
it's a visible boundary between Earth and the sky.
Right, and the geometric horizon isn't a visible boundary between Earth and sky. We've debunked it. I say it again because there's a stony silence. The geometric horizon is not a visible, meaning you can see it, boundary, meaning it would block stuff, between the sky and sea. It's beyond the limitations of the geometry. So we only have one horizon, and the horizon in your globe mass is geometric. It's not a visible location blocking things.
You're right, it's not. It's
Yes, so bye-bye, globe maths. Our horizon's not geometric. It's not blocking boats and buildings with a feet and inches value. Welcome to flat Earth.
no, because
No? What, because you've got curvature at the horizon?
yes,
No, you haven't. It's not geometric. We don't see that. That assertion that it's blocking things, marked with an X, labelled horizon, in your begging the question, proof of nothing perspective hijacking Earth curve calculator, is a physical geometric horizon that blocks things. It would be at 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. It is marked with an X, labelled horizon in your maths, and unequivocally not the horizon that we see.
where did you get the formula for the horizon?
From your curve maths.
What curve?
What? Curve maths? The ones that are on screen right now. From your claim that Earth is a sphere. Would you like to tell me that your claim that Earth is a sphere is a straw man because I'm ripping it to shreds? Tell me that my curve maths is a straw man. Go on. Go on.
There is no
Earth curve, mate. No Earth
the
curve. No
Hold
Earth
on.
curve.
The curve calculator that I gave you was the curve that showed how far what's the observable of the object if you're looking at it. That's the one that I put it in the main chat.
And
there is no formula for that. It's just calculating automatically.
So it's calculating
the formula,
it then?
It takes that part to calculate. Just because it's not on the screen, on the computer screen, because it's doing it in the background, but the points you're talking about, the process with regards to observer height and the distance to the horizon, you'll see those there in the parameters. The calculation is that. That's how they achieve it. I know you're probably ignorant of that, but just trust us. It's their maths. They've set it up, and these are their statements of definition with regards to the supposed ball geometry. So they're clear. They're not our claims. They're ball Earth claims. And they are in that website.
So where did I get the, if the Earth was a sphere, radius 3959, then every measured distance to horizon could be no more than 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet? It's your claim. Where did I get it from? It's yours.
Hold on. Let me see.
Let me see. Yeah, the horizon's not physical. Meanwhile, we only have one horizon, and the horizon in your begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking Earth curve calculator would be at 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. It's here on screen, marked as horizon. Now, this horizon isn't the horizon we see. This horizon only exists in this maths. We only have one horizon. And it's not your globe Earth curve edge horizon. That only exists in your maths.
I'm still trying to find the formula that you use to calculate.
Yeah, it's over for you, buddy.
That.
Sorry, why? So if you can't find it, argument from ignorance, you'll claim that I've made the maths up and it's my straw man? Yeah, because obviously I like making up maths that claims the Earth's a sphere. That's what I tend to do with my day as a flat earther. I like to go around making up curve maths.
No,
You just don't know where it's come from or how it works. Yeah, we know you're ignorant. Adam just explained that to you. We know you're dumb. You didn't know what gravity was either, and now you don't know what geometry of a sphere is. Yeah, you're ignorant, we know.
If the horizon's not geometric, and this lad has already accepted that it's not geometric, then any blockage after that means that it's not a physical blockage, it's an optical blockage. So any claimed blockage after that is you're claiming optical blockage, not physical. You can't claim physical blockage if there's no geometric horizon. So you're claiming a blockage. That's an optical blockage only then. It can't be physical because the horizon's not geometric. So it has to be only optical. So that means you don't have a claim if you're claiming it's a globe.
Shout out to Unitox who says, "It's calculating automatically. I will die now." He's laughing. Over the super chat, Unitox also, "That flat fellow sends me a set of sunglasses." Cool. Thank you very much indeed, both of you, for the super chats.
You know, it's interesting. He brought up measurement for the equator, which then he said was imaginary. But we've got actual numbers for Earth radius of 3959. And if you apply measurement the way he loved to do before until he found out it was imaginary, it's no longer imaginary, because if Earth was a sphere with a radius of 3959, then the blockage would be at 1.2 miles. The Earth's horizon would be right there. But since it's not, then he's got to give that up to imaginary now as well, if he's got the courage to admit it.
But of course, again, sorry.
Where did you get a calculation where the horizon should be 1.2? What did it say? 1.27 miles away from the viewer. Where did you get that?
That's Earth curve geometry. That's the geometry of a sphere Earth. I've told you that 5 times. Adam's told you as well.
The Earth is not a perfect sphere.
Well, yeah, it's not a sphere at all. It would have a geometric horizon if it was.
It's on screen, the derivation, but I'll go and post it into Discord in a minute. But it is here if you want it. Me and Tenf a while back checked it. It is there. It is. There's the derivation, the main point. And there's your sum, like 1.22459 times the square root of the observer height in feet will give you the thing. So this is a derivation based on ball geometry. If you've never come across it before, it's worth going through just as a proof. If you're a bit of a maths geek like me, I did check it, went through it. It is correct. It's based on certain assumptions, but it is mathematically correct.
So, if the Earth was a sphere, radius 3959, then every distance to horizon measurement could be no more than 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. That is the geometry of a sphere Earth, radius 3959. And the horizon is beyond the geometric limitations of an Earth's radius 3959. Therefore, the horizon is not a physical Earth curve edge obstruction. We've debunked it. Earth is not a sphere.
I never said that the horizon was a physical abstraction.
That's fascinating. Meanwhile, the begging the question proof of nothing perspective hijacking Earth curve calculator that is asserted to prove that we have a physical geometric sphere edge blocking boats and buildings in the distance absolutely asserts that the horizon is a physical geometric sphere edge. The fact that you've become an anti-flat earther and now relinquished the claim of the curve maths is irrelevant. You are a nobody. Meanwhile, you've got curve maths that assert physical horizons at 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height in feet. You and your claims are irrelevant. There is a Western worldview that you've got a geometric horizon, regardless of your stupid shit that you make up here on the spot.
He's getting ready to move towards the geometric horizon is a not visible boundary between the Earth and sky. I think that's the next.
Well, he already claimed the horizon is not geometric, so.
Yeah, that's the next move.
No, pretty soon he's going to say that the platforms, there's a refraction. You'll see.
Well, if he wants to know where Nathan got the 1.23 miles for the 1 foot observer height, is it James is the last name? Open up Metabunk curve calculator, and in the boxes put in 10 miles for the distance and 1 foot for the observer height, and then look at where the geometric horizon is. It'll be at 1.23 miles. That's where Nathan got that from.
Hold on. What was that calculator again?
Metabunk curve calculator. METABUNK. Metabunk curve calculator.
On screen now for the audience's benefit.
And I've posted in the Discord the full derivation if you did want to understand how they do that calculation.
Given it's his claim, you'd expect him to understand this shit, rather than us having to detail his claim to him. It's pathetic.
I'd have probably got it myself from a small Google search before coming to a Flat Earthers and making myself look really ill-informed.
This is all shocking news to him.
Yeah, sorry, where did you get this maths that Earth's a sphere? Surely you, the Flat Earther, can't possibly cite my claim as a globe-believing dick that we've got a physical geometric sphere edge for a horizon. And when that's pointed out, as the dick I am, I will interrupt this. Right, dick? Wherever did we get it? It's your claim. You'd think you'd know it. Shout out to Tony Whitcomb. Says Neil deGrasse Tyson said you can't see Earth curve from ground level. So is he saying Neil is wrong? His own master? High priest? He just doesn't know what his own claim is, Tony. But thank you very much for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. So meanwhile, Earth's flat. No curve. No geometric horizon.
You know, this is a...
Go ahead,
You know what?
Yeah.
It's time for me to go to bed.
Hey, one question for you. One question
for
you. One question for you. If you tell me you have a house, and I say, what's the address? I'm going to find your house. If you tell me we have Earth curve because the Earth is a sphere, and the measurements say at 1 foot observer height, it would appear here. At 5 foot observer height, it would appear here. At the top of a mountain, it would appear here. I expect that to work. I know you guys have put an address on Earth curve, but we can't find it. So welcome to Flat Earth.
Yeah, but it can't work because he already said the horizon is not geometric, yet the Earth curve calculator requires it to be geometric in order to have any validation. That's the point.
So yeah, meanwhile, no Earth curve. That's the end of the Earth curve assertion.
Where did you get that it's a square root of the observer's height? Shouldn't it be squared? Because it seems that the horizon might be too close to the observer.
Too close?
That's just...
yeah. At 1 foot, it would be at 1.2 miles. I mean, that's really close, right? You'd expect to see that, wouldn't you? We don't, because we're not on a sphere. And there you go.
Maybe he would like to change the radius from 3959 to 40,000.
Hold on. I think your math of 1.22 miles times square root of height of the observer.
Right, no, not your maths. It's not our maths. You dumb shit. It's your globe maths. Stop claiming it's ours. Next, he'll be telling us it's debunked and a straw man. This is your maths, not our maths. Get it clear.
1.22 miles times.
It's your maths, not ours. Do you understand that? Your maths, not ours. You said, in your maths, meaning us, the Flat Earthers' maths. No, it's not. It's your globe maths that we debunk. So pulling apart the maths is merely you pulling apart your own claim that you don't understand. So don't ascribe your maths to us or talk through me when I tell you not to ascribe your globe maths to us with the term your maths. It isn't our maths. It's your globe maths. Clear? Obviously not. It's not our flat Earth globe math. It's your globe math. Clear?
You don't need to repeat that. I heard you the first time.
Well, why leave a stony cold silence and a total ignorance of what I've said when you've just declared that in our maths? No, it isn't our maths. It's your maths that you don't understand.
Because I couldn't find the formula with the...
Yeah, because you're ignorant and don't understand your own claim, so that's an excuse to make it our maths? No. It's not. It's yours. Just because you can't find it and are stupid doesn't mean it's our maths. It's not. It's your maths that you don't know anything about and can't find, even though we've directed you to it and posted it in the Discord server. Just incapable of basic functioning. Yeah, you can't go to the server and see where it's been posted. Yeah, you're just sick. We know. So don't keep telling me how you can't find it, therefore you need us to tell you.
I found it. I appreciate it.
Oh, finally you figured out what your own bloody claim is. Oh, wow. We should be really grateful having detailed to it with you bracing against us every sodding step of the way and claiming it's our bloody maths. Yeah, oh, I'm so grateful that you finally found the claim you're making here. Wow, that's good news.
Hey, Dan, how can you measure the distance of something that's constantly changing? How can you find that out?
What do you mean finding the distance that's constantly changing?
How can you measure something that's constantly changing?
Where did you get that idea?
The horizon is constantly changing, so how can you measure where that geometric area should be?
The horizon changes based on the observer's height. It doesn't go anywhere. So the higher you are, the farther you'll see. Simple as that.
Yeah, and the lower you are, the less you'll see, to the point where you'll have a geometric physical sphere edge blocking your view of these oil platforms at 1.2 miles. But it isn't there. We've debunked that. You keep brushing past the fact that you keep saying that, well, the height's going to dictate it. What, a bit like 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height? That kind of dictation of height. The one that you've only just realised and found. Yeah, we've been saying that for quite a while, but you question whether or not it was our maths. Yeah. Globe maths asserts that your height will dictate where the geometric horizon is. But we've debunked that. You see the picture on screen? It's beyond the geometric limitations. So not based on your height. Yeah?
The higher you are, the farther you'll...
Sorry, you're going to now start chanting about what Globe maths says, because he's only just bloody read it. So because it is written, therefore the geometric limitation will be at 1.2 times the square root of the observer's height and feet. So he will tell us. Yet I keep pointing out that we know that. It's part of our debunking of your claim that you didn't understand, and the demonstration of how that isn't the case is on screen right now. Maybe just chant the claim that a physical geometric sphere edge horizon will be based on your observer height again, because you've only just learnt it, even though we're way ahead of you, know that already, and can debunk it with the image on screen.
This can't be happening, Nathan. We're flat earthers.
I'm gonna go. So I appreciate the talk. Maybe we can talk next time. Thanks for the debate. It was really cool.
Thank you for begging me on multiple occasions to tell you what gravity is. Thank you for begging us to provide citation of curvature maths, the very thing you're here to prove. And thank you for begging the question, reversing the burden of proof, using an argument from incredulity fallacy. Yeah, it was wonderful having you.
Hey, no problem.
Yeah, massive problem for you, the dick that doesn't even want to acknowledge every fallacy you've used. According to you, no problem. That's cognitive dissonance for you, ladies and gentlemen. I point out a list of fallacies to this dick, and he says no problem. Yeah, massive problem in logic. For you.
You have a good day. And, you have a good day.
Just won't be acknowledging the logical fallacies you've used here in your time here. Just going to bugger off without the slightest dose of humility being expressed to us. Yeah, we know. Yeah, bye-bye. It's all good. I've just used a shitload of fallacies and demonstrated how ignorant I am for about 2.5 hours.
All I'm saying is that
you're dumb as shit and that you're going to say goodbye without conceding a single thing. Yeah, we know.
Again, I'm going to leave with one statement. Earth is still...
Yeah, fuck off. You want to just get your ad hom chanting through us? Piss off, get lost.
What were you saying, Chewie?
I was going to say something, but you guys are hot on it, so.
Feel free, the line's all yours.
I can't be arsed.
Can't be arsed.
Oh, he was arsed a lot.
Well, for somebody that believes the Earth is a globe, he seems to just not know anything about what that actually means and implies, because we had to guide him holding his hand every single step of the way. So it's very weird. Like, oh, he thinks it's a globe, but he doesn't seem to know anything about what that actually means and implies.
Where'd you get that math from?
What's the course again? Yeah, that's what most people who come here think. I got a pretty good understanding of what gravity is. I think it's been proven. So I'm going to go in and tell them, well, it's been proven already. They've got experiments. Chant it, chant it, chant it.
Did you hear Adam call him ignorant?
You guys are a little late today, man. I like this timing. Why don't you move to this time?
It's just because of a dental appointment. My wife had a dentist appointment. I didn't want the kids running around too much because if they scream, I get accused of beating them.
I get it. Okay, fair enough. So I guess I missed it.
Be here or
Show's
be
still
here.
going.
Say again, Arwin?
The show is still going, right? Still live.
Yeah, we're still live. Got another 8 minutes.
Do we have the after show after?
No, we have it before.
Yeah. No, the pre-show is after.
We're actually filming this next Wednesday.
I figured as much. Just checking.
It was also broadcast a week ago.
Right, we're recording this in the Tenet universe reversed world.
Well, based on gravitational lensing, this is actually being filmed next Wednesday.
Have some respect for the grand, high, exalted mystic ruler.
Who's that?
Huey!
Hey, check that shit.
This is just today's apparent show.
Whatever you say, leader.
I was just a little shocked about this guy that he actually would say, like, no, the horizon is not a geometric horizon, and then immediately the next sentence, in one breath, say that it does obstruct things. That was really something else.
He was Googling things on the spot.
You're shocked?
Yeah, I was going to say.
No, you're not shocked. You've heard stupider than that. I heard stupider than that last night.
Yeah, but
there was a guy in the Discord server in the pre-show as soon as I started the show up, and he might still be here, Pope guy, absolutely hammering the guy. Yeah, he is still here.
But that was Sink Cleanser.
Is that Sink Lenser?
Yep.
Yeah, he was pummeling him.
it's just that people like this, that believe it like this, like, do they even know what a sphere is? Or do they even miss that sort of rudimentary knowledge? I just don't understand how they could contradict themselves so quickly without training, like Rumpus and all.
We've got Tim Osman in the chat. Nobody claims the horizon is Earth curve.
Tim, you got Timmy Clown. Is he out there?
Yeah.
He's in chat right now on YouTube.
Jesus, man. What the heck are you still doing there? You embarrassment. Logical fallacy is better than nothing, huh?
Nobody claims the horizon is Earth curve. Now look at my images. Labeled, this is Earth curve. Of multiple horizons.
Is he still carrying that portfolio around of those train wreck photos he's got?
What, the train wreck photos of the horizon? Labeled, this is Earth curve. Nobody claims the horizon is Earth curve. End quote, Tim Osman.
Come on in, Timmy. For old time's sake. We'll put you on mute.
We'd love to see your images. This is Earth curve. We'd love to see those. Meanwhile, we only have one horizon, and the horizon in your begging the question proof of nothing perspective hijacking Earth curve calculator is physical and geometric to me. Is nobody claiming it anymore? Oh yeah, of course we debunked it with this image on screen now, didn't we? Yeah, beyond the limitations of your sphere that blocks things with feet and inches that don't change with distance, perspective, in your Muppet vision. Yeah, this is Earth curve, eh?
Honest girl.
He was one of the first to, I don't know if he was the first one that brought it up. Probably not, because he's too stupid. But he used to push that different counterclockwise and clockwise star rotation, right? He was one of the first ones. You know, they're still parroting that. I got into it the other night with a guy, 2 different directions again. It's like rinse and repeat. It's like a nightmare for them, right? You're so stupid. But thanks, Timmy, for passing that along. Could you say it a couple hundred more times so others will pick it up too? You and John, where's John LeBon? You got to have a JLB if you want to be with me. Where's that numpty dipshit? Go get him. Get him in here.
My son says the same thing about star rotation.
Hey guys, surprised to see a live stream still going.
It's only been going for 58 minutes, so.
Yeah, started late.
Partista made it.
Yeah, indeed. Just in time for me to round out and say, if you are watching this on either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley Premiering streams, then stay tuned, as there will be an after show to follow. Unfortunately, if you are watching this live, this is where we bid you farewell. So, a huge, massive, enormous thank you to both Discord and GPus panels for making today's live show possible. And of course, a massive thank you to all of you for smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, or joining as a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member. Also, below this video, you can get £50 for swapping your UK electricity supplier to Octopus Energy. Once again, stay tuned if you're watching on either Premiering stream. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
What a lovely day!
In the theory of general relativity, because you're reading off quotes or reading off of references that were wrong as well. So then he reverted back to a force of gravity. He claimed a distance to the sun, all kinds of stuff. it was pretty good, actually.
Yeah, but that's the thing about the newbies, though. They don't really know the arguments, so they just see quotes on the internet and they parrot that.
Yeah, he was real-time Googling shit, wasn't
he? Yeah, but the thing about it is that, well, the same quote, if we look for references back 5 or 6 years ago, you would have got more correct references. But now you have people out there who are putting out references that are trying to make Einstein's theory of general relativity into a force of gravity. So they're literally changing things around. Even if they had a reference that was correct before, they're literally changing things around to become incorrect to suit their belief. That's literally what's happening. I've had it the past few days. I've been having a one-on-one with someone on YouTube, and they're literally taking. There's literally references online that is intentionally incorrect, but only because they need gravity to be a force.
So they're changing shit on the fly, huh?
Yeah, if we looked up these back in 2015, we would have just got the correct references. But now you try and look up, is gravity a force, or is gravity an effect according to Einstein, anything like that? And for me, anyway, all I get is a heap of mumbo-jumbo.
They've always done that, though. They've always changed the model as it suits them.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah,
look at through the years. Look at through the years all the references that have changed after someone comes on the show.
Exactly. I mean, they're contacting websites and asking them to change things around, and they're saying, because of them bold flat earthers are saying that gravity is not a force anymore. So will you change that so they can't reference it and destroy us in the debate? They're literally doing this, literally contacting them in their droves.
Wait a second, we didn't say gravity is not a force. They said it. We just reiterated it.
Einstein said it, and they don't want to deal with it, so they're having references change, so we can't refer to these references within the debate.
Their models seem to sort of work pretty well when they still assumed gravity was a force. At least they could model something, right? And that's the problem, that as soon as it was declared not a force through Einstein, they can't really do any modeling like they could before. And yeah, so it's actually taken away a lot of options, and people just don't accept that and just assume it's a force anyway, so they can keep modeling.
I looked at this this guy. I looked at what causes the gas pressure gradient, right, some months ago. And this is after I brought out the presentation on the sun causing it. And this physicist guy was putting out this 17-minute video, I think it was, on the sun causing all of this, and it was all temperature and blah blah blah. And that's why this is this and that is that. And we used to think it was gravity, but now we know different or something. It was like literally backing up everything I was saying. I saved it, right? I went back to look for it. About a month and a half later, it was gone. Look for it online, no sign of it. I cannot find it. So they have an actual real physicist guy, and he wasn't even an older guy. He was going in maybe his early 30s, who was explaining the whole thing. And I can't find it now. And even when I saved it, it's gone. I saved it like as a bookmark and that's gone.
The Helios bumped them off.
Yeah, but this is what they're doing. They're trying to assassinate all and not allow any references that would support us. And it's not even supporting a flat earth a lot of the time. It's just not supporting their belief.
I just grabbed an old document, Nathan, with relation to what Brian was saying. They do this. Could you remember when Tony first pulled that MIT paper that was from the Chinese school? I remember them contacting the place to petition to get it removed off their approved literature site. And that is the case. That's why I've got it here. I actually printed it off after I saved it. And I think what Brian says is true, and probably we'll see more of this sort of thing. It's been going on now for 3 years, them reacting to us. But I thought it was a better one. They first tried to take the paper apart by just claiming it was school kids. What was in it was correct. So then they petitioned whoever I'm sure it was MIT, to take it off their teaching list, which they did.
Yeah, I remember. I think it was 3 years ago when they also did that. Red Bull came across a Picard, something about that Picard guy that went up in the balloon, and then it changed all the heights and everything about it as well.
Yeah, it now states, because it used to state that he said he saw the Earth as a flat disk with upturned edges at 14 miles up. And now it states, because his grandson is in charge of the Wikipedia page, his grandson now allowed it to be stated as he said he saw the curve of the Earth. That's literally what it says. That is how corrupt these people are.
Yeah. I mean, that one is shocking, right? Because his statements were quite categorical in what he saw, wasn't it? It represented it. He said, if anything, it curved up at the edges, didn't he? Rather than that's naughty, isn't it?
If he's saying that now, he's debunking Neil deGrasse or going against Neil deGrasse.
Well, maybe not. I don't know what 120,000 feet is. It may be 120,000 feet might be more than 14 miles. But either way, I really don't see how a flat disc with upturned edges could turn into a curve some miles later, at 14 miles up? You know what I mean? How can it become a curve according to Neil deGrasse Tyson at 20 miles or whatever? Do you know what I mean? It's complete and utter nonsense. It's like the whole, not to go away from what we're talking about, but it's like the whole Branson thing recently, claiming to be 47 miles up. They're not 47 miles up. But you can tell people anything, you know. When you can go to somewhere they can't and make claims about it that they can't disprove. But yeah, they're always doing this. They're always changing things, references that supported us or supported our arguments against them. Like, I even me looking for online, is gravity a force according to Einstein? All I get is convoluted nonsense now. I used to get, no, Einstein stated this, this, and this. And there used to be some good websites I could go to reference, like physicists and like astrophysicists, I should say, talking about the theory of general relativity and how it has nothing to do with a force of attraction and causes of weight and all this. And now I can't find any of it.
But we're not too far away from them, like removing geometry from school and saying that because the horizon is beyond the geometric limitations, geometry's wrong.
Well, they're going to state that the horizon's not geometric and it's still a globe. Officially, that's what they're going to state.
Indeed, they do. With that, though, I'm going to say another huge, massive, enormous thank you to both Discord and G+ panels for making today's after show possible. Of course, a massive thank you to all of you in either Nathan Oakley 1980 or Nathan Oakley premiering streams, hopefully smashing the super chat, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, and becoming a Nathan Oakley 1980 channel member. Also, below this video, you can get £50 for swapping your UK electricity supplier to Octopus Energy. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
What a day! What a lovely day!